You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. What's going on, everybody? What's this? Our second or third stream of 2026? Yeah, we running a little bit late, a little bit. See, that's not a little bit late. All right, y'all. So, um, the oh boy, background. Of course, when Mr. Z starts streaming, of course. My apologies, everyone, for the background. So we're gonna start off like this. The title of today's stream is It's Called Coping. And the reason why we titled this It's Called Coping is because we got a certain somebody, we caught a certain somebody in the comments on Instagram putting a comment down for the misandry talk. Now, this person was just lamenting being single and childless at 50 something, 52, 53 years old. I'm just saying. Whoops. Right? And as you guys can see, this is most women in long-term relationships are, was that tolerant codependence. Tolerant codependence. And as you can see, that first comment, and it might not show up the same way for you guys, but I do follow Claudia Jordan, so I guess that's why her comment populated, because I have a different I've said this to you guys before, I have a different Instagram for the Z, and when I switched to the comment for the Z, it did not populate, right? So, or at least I couldn't see Claudia Jordan's comment, at least, right? And Claudia Jordan says, damn, thinking of a couple of people that I really feel bad for. Huh? We're going to talk about other things today, but we're going to start it off with the main event. Z, you backwards as hell, I know. We're starting off with the main event. It's called coping. Huh? Yeah, Revela. Yes, yes, yep. And Revela says that second comment is crazy. And the second comment is, and remember, Mr. Z, the font comes up really small for me, so excuse the struggling with this. And it says, I broke up with my man I still love very much because I couldn't do a lifetime of telling him the bathroom needs to be cleaned. And we're going to get to it, right? We're going to get to it. I just want to say this, and if anybody's going to ever share this with Claudia Jordan, and if Claudia Jordan ever comes up on this, and I came so close to putting a comment down and responding to Claudia, but I think this is the best thing to do. This is another reason why we're starting off the stream with the main event first, and then we'll get to other things later. Claudia, appreciate this. We have videos of you going back over a decade, from the foxhole all the way to now, right? When you were on Foxhole, when you were on Foxhole, when you had your own show with the other women, Mr. Z, still, there's some of those videos, if I'm not mistaken, some of those videos of that, at least, are floating around on YouTube. That's when I was able to hear that years ago on YouTube. Okay, cool. We've seen you on Corey Holcomb. I've made mention of this before when you were on Corey Holcomb's show when he was at the RMC. We have footage of you speaking about you're over it, you're tired of it, right? You've been single since '88. Your words, right? We know you were married for like a blink of an eye. It didn't work out. Okay, cool. Recently, at the very end of 2025, or at least the interview was published at the end of 2025, you pretty much said you didn't realize how fast time was going, and you thought you had more time, and you didn't, concerning relationship, I'm guessing children. Okay, cool. Claudia, this is coping. This is you and all those other women in the comments coping. Huh? Y'all are being petulant children throwing temper tantrums because the men you find desirable have either moved on, have a family, or happily being single and living the bachelor life. And as much as the women claim they love being bachelorettes and they love their single life and they love their quote unquote peace, they're making videos, they're commenting on videos, huh? They're resharing, retweeting all those little sideways comments, bitter comments, huh? All these little slide remarks towards men. Claudia, this is coping talk. Huh? So let's play the video. Remember, it's probably, not even probably, it's sped up 1.35 speed. Many of my videos are sped up 1.35 speed. So when y'all listen, just take that into account. And so we're going to play this so y'all can see what Claudia Jordan was responding to. And once again, Claudia Jordan's comment is on the screen. I have the point mark. I have the index finger pointing to it, right? And she says, damn, thinking of a couple of people that I really feel bad for, right? So fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And let's get underway.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships.
Now, it's very interesting. Let's pause right there, right? And if I'm not mistaken, this young lady's name is Julie Dice, right? And my apologies if I'm mispronouncing your last name, Miss Julie, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's your first name. On Instagram, do not go and troll that lady. We're just, commenting on this video. Now, it's very interesting, the framing of this, right? The women in relationships are coping, essentially what you're saying, I'm paraphrasing. The women in relationships are coping with mediocre men, right? They're convincing themselves that this is okay and that they would rather be in this situation with this mediocre man than be single. But single women aren't coping with being single when they would rather be in relationship by saying, I would rather be single. I'm at peace. I love my peace. I can't have no man in my home. Right? So the people that are coping are the people in relationships. Excuse me, better yet, I said that wrong. The women that are coping are the women in relationship. The single women are the ones that are at peace and they're happy and they're content and they're living their best life. You gotta love it. Huh? This is why Mr. Z says it's called coping. Listen to her again. We're going to play it again. I'm going to pause once again and make my comment again, and then we'll play the whole thing after. Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52.
The women that are in relationships have a high tolerance for mediocrity. Right? Appreciate that this is the language to all the technocrats and social designers and tastemakers, huh? All of you that are looking at the population bomb going off all across America, the lowering birth rate, lowering marriage rate, huh? I want you to appreciate that your daughters are listening to videos like this all across the internet. Huh? They're making comments to videos like this all across the internet. They're posting videos like this all across the internet. It's easy for us to chastise our boys and our men in America because you cowards done raised the most insufferable 3 generations ever. Xers, millennials, and Gen Z, and y'all don't know what to do. Y'all don't know how to tell y'all daughters, actually, I might have spoiled you a little too much. And yeah, you're insufferable. And I couldn't imagine dating you as your father. No incest. I could imagine random men. Huh? You same men who will put a foot up your son's ass. Quick, fast, in a hurry, easy. You allow for your daughters to feel like you're coddling your sons. Meanwhile, your daughters sound like this when they're single. I don't want to be in a relationship anyway. I don't want no man in my house anyway. All those women in relationships are with mediocre men. They're comfortable with mediocrity. They didn't convince themselves that they're happy in the relationship. As if this is not the sound, the rhetoric, the language of bitter, single, resentful, angry women. No, I'm sorry. Only men are incels. Only men, right? The men need to grow up, not the women. To Dr. Richard Reeves and to Professor Galloway, for the 1 zillionth time, your sons are not going to overproduce. When I say your sons, I'm talking about American men and especially young men under the age of 30, under the age of 35. They are not going to overproduce for women like this. You could pack it up. Y'all better figure out a way to subsidize these women, because we already know most women don't earn enough to support themselves. Good luck with that. Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want.
She has done the mental gymnastics to convince herself that she wants the bare minimum. I want to be very clear. If we are demanding that our sons, American men, overproduce for women, then we better demand that the women carry the lion's share, of the home responsibilities. Oops. There will be no overproducing, Dr. Richard Reeves and Professor Galloway. If the women don't overproduce on the other side, emotional labor, I said it, in the chores in the home, there will be no overproducing financially. There will be no overproduction, of production. Find a way to subsidize them without the men. The outlines are doing too much talking. See, a woman like this, she's probably doing well financially. She can afford her own life. That's great. And she's doing all this talking. And yet you have a bunch of 40 and 50 and 60,000 and $38,000 a year women who follow her, who like her comments, who retweet her videos, share her videos, and they can't afford their life. Those women cannot afford their life. And some man is supposed to overproduce for that woman. Meanwhile, she's consuming content like this. She's consuming commentary like this. Huh? Good luck with that. To all the American technocrats, good luck with that. Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him.
Okay. I never see where the woman gets the better deal. Mr. Z is about making women mean that. No, ladies, Mr. Z, no, you say that out of spite. F it, we gonna make you mean it anyway. Shout out to you, not black women, whatever you are, Latina, white women. You better look at black women. How is it working for them? Not having men attached to them. Oops. Huh? The women doesn't have the better deal? The women doesn't have a good deal? That sound good. I would like to direct you to the nearest black community. Oops. Huh? Because that's a bunch of single happy women, huh? Yikes. Huh? Imagine saying the women become essentially a nanny for the children, taking care of the children. What, the women didn't want the children even more than the men? Wait, the women don't want children. So the women with children don't want their children. The men are the ones who force them to have the kids. All this sound nice until you actually put it to the test. Until you just wait. Let's pause right there. Let's ask that question again. The women have been reduced down to taking care of the children that they didn't want. The women are reduced down to cleaning the home that they didn't want, or they didn't want that house. And we pull men away in men's finances. What do most women become? Will most women in America be able to afford a home if it wasn't for the men? Don't give me them outlier women. Oh, you know, women own more homes than men do. They don't own them. First of all, they paying on them still. Secondly, don't tell me about no outlier women that earn enough. Most women don't earn enough, and we know it. Huh? All that sound good. I want to stress that once again. All of that sound good until you put it to the test. Imagine, so Scott Galloway and Richard Reeves are saying to men, it's your job as a man to overproduce. That's what men do. And then we have women like this who say, you know what? The women don't get good deals when they're with men. What deal? Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him. And I would say the best case scenario, she maybe doesn't have to work, but in most of the scenarios, she is also working and she is doing all of the housework. I'm sure there is a very small majority that maybe has one of the good ones, as you guys would love to say, but I don't even trust you guys because I see the mental gymnastics that you do to live in that cognitive dissonance because no one wants to admit that they are accepting the bare minimum. No one's going to admit that they're unhappy, or else honestly, you would have a psychotic break.
My question to every elder, when I say elder, I'm being very kind and generous with this word. When I say elder, I'm really speaking about everyone under the age of 65. Men and women, white, black, Latina, Asian, Latino, Asian, and otherwise. How bitter does a woman have to be and sound before y'all admit that she bitter? How egregious does it have to be before you're like, okay, she's just being a child now because she didn't get from the dating game what she wanted, because the tall, good-looking, chiseled chin, uber wealthy man is not paying for her and her lifestyle and shutting up, protecting, providing, and shutting up? Huh? How bad does it have to be before y'all admit that the bitter woman is a bitter woman? Because y'all don't say it for men anyway. Easy. A man blinked the wrong way. Man, you just bitter. You just angry. Grow up. Stop being a child. Adult females, women, get to be angry, bitter, resentful, that whatever they wanted from their dating life, whatever they wanted to parlay into marriage, whatever dynamic they wanted to have, didn't work out. And instead of them saying it the way Mr. Z just said it, they get to run on the internet and social media, maybe television and radio, print media, and spew their bitterness, but make it seem like, no, the issue is the way we socialize the men, is that the men are not emotionally intelligent, which really means kissing women's ass. The men and the boys aren't raised to be responsible, mentally, emotionally intelligent, and kind. Meanwhile, their real issue is the man I wanted didn't do what I wanted him to do. Protect, provide, and shut up.
I miss when men used to protect, provide, and shut up.
Huh? The issue that the women have is that they're not getting patriarchy by feminist specifications. You know that word y'all call egalitarian? It's not egalitarian. Patriarchy by feminist specifications. How egregious do women like this have to be, especially to you, quote unquote, elder women? The question is really directed to all you women really above the age of 60, but okay, fine, 65. How bad does it have to be? How loud does she have to be? How sexist and misandrist does she have to be before you're like, okay, we got to do something about this because these women are a trip. We didn't let them hide all of their anger and resentment that their college degrees didn't allow for them to get top shelf men. We didn't let them spew all this sexist crap long enough. Oh, I forgot. No, the men do that, not the women. The women are perfectly happy being single. They're at peace. They're not spewing their toxic nonsense all over the interwebs. And quite frankly, all over society. Offline. Huh? Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him. And I would say the best case scenario, she maybe doesn't have to work, but in most of the scenarios, she is also working and she is doing all of the housework. I'm sure there is a very small majority that maybe has one of the good ones, as you guys would love to say, but I don't even trust you guys because I see the mental gymnastics that you do to live in that cognitive dissonance because no one wants to admit that they are accepting the bare minimum. No one's going to admit that they're unhappy, or else honestly, you would have a psychotic break. You would probably kill yourself. But for most, and when I sit down with my friends and I hear actually what's going on in their relationship, what it is built on is extreme codependence. It is the woman who has her childhood wounds, who painfully desires to be picked, who is in absolute survival mode, whose cortisol is shot up so high that it has literally shut down her prefrontal cortex to even be able to think, to see that there is a life that could be peaceful without this man. She can barely make decisions. And I've just accepted at this point point, my tolerance is so low. I truly used to think I was someone, I was like, I'm going to have 5 kids. I'm going to get married one day. I thought I really desired that, but I'm just like, how could I ever give up this peace? Whenever I'm with a man, I'm crying. My nervous system is out of whack. And even for the
I'm going to get to the rest of that in a minute. Once again, the title for today's stream it's called Coping. She admits to you that she wanted to be married with 5 children, and when it didn't work out that way, or at least so far it hasn't worked out that way, instead of her sitting down with that, she decided to go full on dark, right? Full on a-hole. Yeah, you gotta love it. Huh? Y'all gives you a second. There we go. Yeah. She went full on angry, resentful, but framing it as empowering. And once again, Julie, this is her channel or her page on Instagram. And as you can see, it says Dark Psychology Breakdowns. Dark psychology breakdown. Dark psychology. Yes, madam, because that's exactly what you're exhibiting here. You admit you wanted to be a woman with 5 children and whatnot, and it didn't work out that way. And instead of you dealing with that in a quote unquote pro-social way, in a healthy way, here you are on your Instagram spewing your nonsense about men because your romantic, familial, and intimate life did not work out the way you wanted it to work out. It happens. We're adults. Grow up. But instead of you dealing with that in a healthy manner, remember, these are the people that say, I go seek therapy, and the boys and the men gotta be taught how to deal with their own mental issues, as if you're not spewing your nonsense. You've dealt with your own mental issues healthily, right? This is what it looked like. Once again, the question is, these little bitter Bettys, how loud, how obnoxious, how sexist do they have to be before whoever you guys are, the theys, before y'all say and definitely do something about this? Oh, wait, you're just going to let your society crash with these little bitter Bettys. Shout out to all you elite technocrat white folks. I'm a little nobody black dude on the internet. Shout out to all of you that want to prop up and hold up Western white civilization and the American white population. If you think white young men are going to marry this and have children with this, you got another thing coming. Can she catch her lottery ticket, a liberal white dude that don't realize you can't do nothing with this and there is no fixing this? Can she possibly catch one? Yeah, possibly. Lottery ticket. The masses of men, even the ones quote unquote on the left side of the political spectrum, they realize they can't do nothing with this. You can't do anything with a bunch of women in America that think like this about men in relationship. She's unsalvageable. Ooh, damn, Z. And Mr. Z hates saying stuff like that. We're going to play it again. Y'all going to see why Mr. Z saying this. You can't do nothing with a woman like this. Leave her out here to go munch on other women or get munched on by other women or do her quote-unquote independent autonomy thing and just be a little sexual plaything for the elite men. Huh? Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him. And I would say the best case scenario, she maybe doesn't have to work, but in most of the scenarios, she is also working and she is doing all of the housework. I'm sure there is a very small majority that maybe has one of the good ones, as you guys would love to say, but I don't even trust you guys because I see the mental gymnastics that you do to live in that cognitive dissonance because no one wants to admit that they are accepting the bare minimum. No one's going to admit that they're unhappy, or else honestly, you would have a psychotic break. You would probably kill yourself. But for most, and when I sit down with my friends and I hear actually what's going on in their relationship, what it is built on is extreme codependence. It is the woman who has her childhood wounds, who painfully desires to be picked, who is in absolute survival mode, whose cortisol is shot up so high that it has literally shut down her prefrontal cortex to even be able to think, to see that there is a life that could be peaceful without this man. She can barely make decisions. And I've just accepted at this point, my tolerance is so low. I truly used to think I was someone, I was like, I'm going to have 5 kids. I'm going to get married one day. I thought I really desired that, but I'm just like, how could I ever give up this peace? Whenever I'm with a man, I'm crying. My nervous system is out of whack. And even for the good ones, let's say not a narcissist, not a chronic abuser, their emotional intelligence is just not there. They're not that interesting. They're not that smart. They're naturally selfish. They're gluttonous. I cannot stand a man. I will never have a man in my house again eating my food. See what I mean? My tolerance, there's no way. And I'm like, for the women who are having a man live in their house, that are eating their snacks, that are being selfish, that you are having to teach them basic concepts like empathy, that you are doing their laundry and cleaning up after them. Ugh. But I just feel like it has to be the only way to make it work. And I'm opting out. I'm opting out of that contract.
Once again, this is women with their little snarky comments towards other women. Oh, I love that for you. Huh? Their little shady comments that they throw at each other. Oh, that's great for you. I could never. Huh? You have to be doing mental gymnastics to accept that bare minimum. Oh, I know you have to train him to be empathetic. Train him to be empathetic. Because women are full of sympathy and empathy, don't you know? Huh? Train him to be empathetic. This is the language, dear America, that your daughters are using because of you. From when they're little girls, you convince them that they're morally superior to the men, to the boys. And then they become grown women in their 20s and 30s and don't know how to cope with life. And their romantic, sexual, intimate life didn't turn out the way they wanted it to. And then they get to spew their nonsense and make it seem like they're for female empowerment and that they're not just bitter Bettys who relationship life didn't work out the way they wanted it to. These little sexist monsters get to pretend like they're on their high horse and they're so full of empathy and sympathy, unlike the men and the boys. Huh? Claudia, you put a comment down for this, Claudia. Appreciate this. This is how women cope with them being full-grown adults and not being able to make it work with other full-grown adults. Instead of them saying, you know what, I don't want to change me. Instead of them being honest with, hey, this is the cost for me being insufferable. Oops. This is the cost for me being naggy. This is the cost for me being mean, consumerist, hyper-materialistic, rude, smug, sassy, gossipy. Instead of them admitting to themselves that the reason I'm single is because I don't want to change me. I like me. With all my flaws, I like me. And the cost of me liking me the way I am is maybe I don't end up with a man. Not a man worth a damn. Not a man I don't have to pay for. Instead of the ladies admitting that to themselves, they're too cowardly to look in the mirror. Rest in peace, Michael Jackson. They're too cowardly. That's why they go into them female therapists who only did. There's nothing wrong with you, girls. It's the environment. It's the men. It's the boys. Why don't the boys go? The men go seek therapy. Because we don't need someone to tell us that everything about us is okay. Wait, I forgot. Oops, Z, you're wrong. Y'all are men. They're not going to tell you everything about you is right. They're going to tell the women that, though. Oops. How many women are in therapy and yet they sound the same? They've been in therapy for 5 and 10 years and they sound and think the exact same, if not worse. Oops. Shout out to all you female therapists. And I'm being mean and I meant it. Huh? These are the healed women, huh? These are the emotionally intelligent women. A bunch of women in America sound like this. Done been in therapy for 2 and 5 and 10 years. And they sound like this and they're healed, right? Okay, yeah. We've done the work. Okay, yeah, that's it. Huh? Ah. She gets to spew her bitter nonsense. And now the men have to pretend like we believe her. Like she's speaking in good faith. Not that she's some just bitter Betty, angry and resentful that whatever her situation was with her ex, it's all him. And she's a healed woman and she just sees the flaws in being in a relationship with men. It's not that she's a little bitter Betty hiding behind this Instagram page. No, that's not it. Dear black women in specific, y'all keep liking white women, non-black women like this. You listen to them. You follow them. You hang on their every word. Women like this turn around last quarter, last second in the last quarter. They turn around and get married and pop out a kid or two on your ass. And y'all fall right off the edge of the cliff into antidepressant pills. Oops. She walking with you? Huh? Y'all think y'all gonna jump off that bridge into a lifetime supply of batteries for that Rose toy and antidepressant pills in girls' trims and midday brunches? You think you're gonna jump off that edge of that cliff with the white women and the Latina women and even some Asian women? And those women rated to they're on the raggedy edge of the cliff and they turn around on your ass. And y'all go falling off. Huh? Now you in your mid-40s, late 40s, no children, no man. And that same white woman that was walking with you, she pulled that parachute at 38, 39, 40 years old, turn around, pop out a kid or two, and married on your ass. Y'all keep following women like this. Y'all be at brunch, y'all be spewing all that hateful man ain't ish rhetoric and nonsense to each other. We're not even gonna mention the fact that sometimes women like this, they talking all that crap. And Tyrone from the mailroom hearing that from the back. Oops. Huh? They spewed all that men ain't ish crap. Meanwhile, at 2 o'clock in the morning, Tyrone got them in the air at night. Uh-oh. Tyrone got them on with the Melvin from Baby Boy type joint. Uh-oh. Meanwhile, you fell asleep to the Rose toy. Huh? Yeah. And let's read this now. In hand, I ain't gonna read it. Han says the elite psyop to destroy human birth rates and keep the masses in a state of slavery is going along swimmingly, I see. Look, if it's not about population control, they're doing a horrible job. If this ain't some psyop for real, yes, we know about the Calhoun experiment, Mouse Utopia experiment. Yes, we know. Living in these major cities, metropolitan areas, stacked up on top of each other, um, it causes people to have a different valuation of children and family. And the way women deal with it is by sounding like this. Instead of saying that they know they didn't price their vagina out the game, instead of them dealing with that, oops. Fine, the lady said you can't afford me. And what happens when the men say you right? Then the ladies sound like this. No, the problem is the emotional intelligence, and they don't have no empathy, and I can't have a man in my house anyway. Ma'am, no, you priced your vagina out the game. I'm not even mentioning the fact that you're insufferable, mean-spirited, and an asshole. You just think your vagina is worth 120,000, 150,000, a $250,000, $1 million a year. And the men who got it said, yeah, I'll rent it for a week or two. Oops. I'll rent it for a few months, but nah, I'm good. And the men who you would naturally be on the same level as them, they can't afford you. They don't want to spend it on you. Ooh. Huh? Wow. You know, once again, this is how women have been taught to cope with not being in relationship, intimate relationship with the opposite sex, not having children, not having their own nuclear family, huh? Walking into their empty ass apartments and homes all across the country. So yeah, Han, if the elites didn't do this on purpose, oh, these are horrible technocrats and social designers. If this ain't on purpose, then oh my God, who's at the steering wheel? Who's at the wheel? Who's at the helm? If they're not doing this on purpose, oh my God, somebody needs to be fired. Huh? So thank you for the super chat, Han. Thank you for the super chat. These little bitter Betties running around social media and the internet telling us how much they're okay with being single. Okay, fine. But that's not good enough for them. You notice that, right? They're never actually just saying, oh, I'm okay with being single. It's always, I'm okay with being single. I could never be with a man in my house. Oh, well, you know what? And man eating all up your groceries. And oh my God, and they're so gluttonous. You'll see why I said that in a minute. And I know you women have to be doing mental gymnastics to be with these men. These women never stop at, I'm happy being single. Beginning, end. Nope. They have to dedicate their entire life to telling you how horrible men are. They never end at, I'm content with being single. I'm happy with being single. I need some alone time. I need some me time. The relationship I was in a year ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, it really did a number on me. You know, I need some alone time. It's never that. These are supposedly the emotionally intelligent people. Remember, these are the emotionally mature people. According to all the technocrats in America, these are the women that know how to practice emotional labor, and they seek therapy and they've done the work. Huh? And yet when we let these people talk long enough, these women, it's never, you know what, I'm enjoying some me time, and maybe I'll get back out there in a year or so. Maybe 9 months. I just need some alone time. I need some me time. Oh no. Can't do that. It's, I couldn't be with no man. You got to train them to practice empathy, and they don't clean up after themselves. And my grandma was married to my granddaddy. She loved it, but she did all the work inside. Huh? These are the people that's supposed to be mature. Ain't that right, America? Huh? Once again, Miss Julie, and I saw what you put up. The Reader Revised. I'm gonna click it in a minute. And while I'm doing that, we're gonna play this one more again, and then we'll move on. Huh? I just want us to remember that this is who Claudia Jordan decided to put a comment down, right? Gives you a second, and there we go. So we're gonna play it one more again, and let me click on this link that the Arena Revives put down, right? And actually, before we do that, fair use again, fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. And I just want you to remember, Claudia Jordan responding to this, damn, thinking of a couple of people that I really feel bad for. Remember, Claudia Jordan responded to this with that comment. Meanwhile, she was just talking about she might have overlooked some men. She might have let some men go because she thought she had way more time. Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead, and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything, and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him. And I would say the best case scenario, she maybe doesn't have to work, but in most of the scenarios, she is also working and she is doing all of the housework. I'm sure there is a very small majority that maybe has one of the good ones, as you guys would love to say, but I don't even trust you guys because I see the mental gymnastics that you do to live in that cognitive dissonance because no one wants to admit that they are accepting the bare minimum. No one's going to admit that they're unhappy, or else honestly, you would have a psychotic break. You would probably kill yourself. But for most, and when I sit down with my friends and I hear actually what's going on in their relationship, what it is built on is extreme codependence. It is the woman who has her childhood wounds, who painfully desires to be picked, who is in absolute survival mode, whose cortisol is shot up so high that it has literally shut down her prefrontal cortex to even be able to think, to see that there is a life that could be peaceful without this man. She can barely make decisions. And I've just accepted at this point, my tolerance is so low. I truly used to think I was someone, I was like, I'm going to have 5 kids. I'm going to get married one day. I thought I really desired that, but I'm just like, how could I ever give up this peace? Whenever I'm with a man, I'm crying. My nervous system is out of whack. And even for the good ones, let's say not a narcissist, not a chronic abuser, their emotional intelligence is just not there. They're not that interesting. They're not that smart. They're naturally selfish. They're gluttonous. I cannot stand a man. I will never have a man in my house again eating my food. See what I mean? My tolerance, there's no way. And I'm like, for the women who are having a man live in their house, that are eating their snacks, that are being selfish, that you are having to teach them basic concepts like empathy, that you are doing their laundry and cleaning up after them. Ugh. But I just feel like it has to be the only way to make it work. And I'm opting out. I'm opting out of that contract.
It has to be the only way to make it work. So you convincing yourself that you're okay with a mediocre man is the only way to make it work, and she is not signing that contract. So I got to glance through what you put down, the Arena Revised. So homegirl came from a single mother who was struggling financially. She then ended up becoming an adult and finding herself being homeless. If I read that correctly, I just skimmed through the article a bit. She was Miss Montana or something like that in 2017. She's into I think it looks like she majored in psychology or something like that. And now she's out here grifting. Oops. Madam, you come from a state with 2 people in it. You want to talk about mediocre? Ma'am, you are the finest thing in that state that you come from. You come down here in South Florida, we won't even look your direction. You're just another basic ass white. You want to talk about mediocre? Madam, if you come down here to South Florida, not saying you can get married and couple up, but nobody's going to look twice at you. You extra basic and average in South Florida. Another basic average white woman in South Florida. You're single because, well, madam, you want to be. Nothing wrong with that. But from that state that you come from, Mr. Z is certain you could have found you one of these starving ass white dudes willing to put a few dollars on the books and marry you and whisk you away and put you in a nice home in the middle of nowhere in a nowhere state. Mon who? Yikes. These little bitter Betties. And then you're gonna have to start questioning, are all of these women bitter, single, resentful, or did they just find a grift? Oops. Which would explain how they're so easy to turn around and blink of an eye, get married and have kids in wedlock on your average Black woman. Because they're grifting. They're grifting the single women. The not so attractive, no man, no money, no prospects women like this, grift off of them. And right when it's about to be curtains, they turn around and get married on those women. Have 2-3 kids in wedlock on those women. Say that, Calvin. That's what I'm trying to say. Calvin says they're just lying to kick it. You don't got to lie to kick it, Craig. You don't got to lie to kick it. Huh? You ain't got to lie. Look, we know. And the Arena Revised says, is Claudia sneak dissing her co-host Erica? That's interesting because Erica, if I'm not mistaken, is married to a white dude, and that's her second marriage. Because I remember seeing a clip from Erica. Okay, when the economically unattractive men are leading to a downturn in marriage article was the big rage about, 5-6 years ago at this point, something like that, maybe 7 years ago. Erica did a news segment, and she was the woman. Y'all might not remember this. Some of y'all might remember this now that I'm saying it. She was the Black woman that said, you know what? I can't say that because I came from a divorce, and when I met my husband, I had nothing, and blah, blah, blah. That was Erica. That was Erica. For all of you that want to know what Erica Mr. Z is referring to and the Arena Revised is referring to, this Erica.
For your night.
That's a very pro-woman, amazing, like strong, independent woman. But might I add another angle? I would feel like, why the hell ain't no one trying to scoop me up to save my life? Am I ugly? Are they better looking than me? Like, why are they getting saved and I'm over here working, taking on extra shifts now because she got Richard Gere that came and scooped her up, and now she got an easy life, and now I got extra corns on my toes and my back hurts because no one's saving me. So you have a very positive attitude. I would have been a little bitter, like, why the fuck? Why not me? Why not? I don't want to be irresponsible. I'm sick of it. I'm tired of the goddamn cape. Somebody save me. I want to be Julia Roberts on Hollywood Boulevard in cheap shoes when some guy comes and saves me. I have worked hard since I was 14 and I had to pay. I'm sick of it, Erica.
I do understand.
It's a thankless job being classy and independent. It's thankless. I've been dating since the 1900s and 80 something, and I'm still single. I'm tired, Erica. You found your man. Don't hate. Let me live this. Let me vent. You're off the strip. I am still on it. I'm in the trenches, and it sucks. I'm sick of being independent. I fucking hate paying for my fucking Range Rover, my other car, my mortgage insurance, my freaking cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi. I am sick of it. I need some guy with bad health to jump on in and interrupt and say, let me take you off your shift. You've been working hard enough. So that's cute what she's doing. I'm not doing that. We are different. I'm tired. I've proven myself, and it only impresses other women. She's like, oh, that's amazing. My friend's independent. These men don't care. Come and save me, some chic, minus the dookie. Just please come and save me. I'm tired. I'm tired, Erica. I don't want to do it no more. Where's my Melania? I want the Melania Trump plan. I'm sick. I've proven myself. Since 1988.
At 88.
I'm tired. I was 15 out of paper route.
Damn, that's a long time.
72 clients. 30-cent tip for some of you bastards in East Providence, Rhode Island on 2nd Street. I remember I gave you papers 7 days a week, and on Sunday you gave me a 30-cent tip. I'm tired. So I'm glad it worked out for you, but I'm not there.
Being a strong, independent woman since 1988 is a lot, Claudia.
Since Salt and Pepper came out.
That's a lot.
I'm tired.
Damn.
So, yes.
Damn.
Excuse me if I'm a little frustrated. So I envy the girls that got taken off the pole, so to say.
Nobody said nothing about no damn pole.
But metaphorically.
Yeah, nobody said. Well, my point was, because here's the thing. The point was that this is a...
Take off the cape, Erica. We lost the election. We're not doing this anymore.
I'm not...
Soft life. Hookers are winning.
All about...
Hoes are winning. Hookers are in the White House again. First lady, if you will. I'm over it. No one cares. Nobody cares about independence anymore. But I respect it, but they don't.
I get it.
And shout out to All Harold Balamuccio. I see you, Vince. I see you. So when Trell Bentley is here, Trell usually puts the comment for that video that says "Take off the cape, Erica." So I usually highlight that. But I see you too, Vince. All hell, Balamuccio. Also known as Pistol Pete. And he starts saying, essentially, she's been dating since, and he just starts spewing a bunch of old stuff from the 80s and maybe even the 70s, which is a decade before, but it's still funny. And yeah, so shout out to Vince. I see you, Vince. I see you. And Brooklyn Finest says, and thank you for the super chat, is anyone begging these chicks for relationship? Yes and no. I think some men, a handful of men. I don't think that's women's issue. Women have a plethora of men to choose from. Their issue is they don't like the quality of men because they done price their vagina out the game. And I know that annoys a lot of men to say from when Mr. Z says that. And I'm okay with, and I know this is going to annoy some of you, even my own subscribers. I'm okay with allowing women to frame this and say, oh, you men just can't afford us. And Mr. Z is like, you're right. Now you deal with that. See, the women say it like it's an insult. Mr. Z says, okay, you know what? I'll accept. Most men can't afford you and your high-priced vagina. First of all, you're giving it away to the men you find attractive for nothing. Right? It's just those men are the ones that don't want to stay. Fine. The men you're kind of meh about, you want to price your vagina out the game for them. And maybe they can't afford you. Maybe they cannot afford you. And now what? You're the one with the dilemma. Huh? You are the one with the dilemma. The women are throwing a temper tantrum because they're the ones with the issue. They're being petulant children because they're the ones with the issue. Chisel Chin Chad doesn't want to spend his money and his time and his energy on them, or he skips them and ends up being with a woman a decade younger than them, or 2 decades younger, or 3 decades younger. Ooh, goddamn. Or the men that she has access to and that are readily available, she thinks she's better than. She doesn't think those men are up to snuff. Nothing wrong with that. But ladies, that's a you problem. Huh? So to answer you again, Brooklyn Finest, is anyone begging these chicks for a relationship? Some men. There are men, she's a standard looking white woman to Z, but there are white dudes that drink her bathwater. The vast majority of men, white men in particular, definitely those Latinos, white worshiping Latinos, goddamn Z, you throwing them under the bus again, and they'll drink her bathwater. She doesn't want one of those guys. They're either not good looking enough, or they don't earn enough, or a combination of both. That's a her problem. And instead of her, you have to appreciate the women that in their moments of sadness and solitude, they drop the truth. When Claudia Jordan just straight up admitted, I might have overlooked some guys, right? When she just admitted that, just straight up. Or she admitted that she thought she had more time. The reason why, even though in the comments she's being petty, the reason why we say videos like that is because this is the one and few times that women are honest. Because the vast majority of women, this society allows and gives them space to be little petty monsters lying about why they're single, why they're not having children, why they're not contributing to the tax base by having children. Oops. They get to lie. They get to make it say, oh, the problem is the men, they don't have no emotional intelligence and they don't have no empathy and they're not nice and they're not generous. No. Once again, as Mr. Z says, the problem that the ladies have is that they want patriarchy by feminist specifications. They do want to earn $150 and $250,000 a year for barely doing anything and have the boss woman title. They want the corner office, huh? They want the C-suite, and they still want a man that earns more than them. And they want that man to be a shark outside the home. They want that man to be a boss outside the home. They want him to be a pit bull outside the home. And when he's in the home, he's a sheepdog. Huh? The problem that the ladies have, especially a woman like this, who was Miss What the Hell, Miss Montana, is that the men with the options and the choices, they pipe women like this. They do not stay in relationships with women like this because women like this are annoying. And the men I put money, the men she finds attractive, are beating women off with a stick. There's a pun in there. And if this attitude that we see on her Instagram is the real her, he'll just end up with a woman years younger than her that's more pleasant and that looks better than her. Women like this now find themselves in an awkward position. You either lower your standard, your air quote standards, which we know they're not going to do, or you resign yourself to being single. Women like this resign themselves to being single, and then they spew their toxic nonsense on the internet. Madam, nobody's telling you or begging you to reconsider. Read some literature. No one is begging you. You're the bitter Betty. Mr. Z is commenting on this because of Claudia Jordan. When I started going through your videos on your channel, oh, it said a lot. Oh, did it say a lot? Huh? And we're going to get to it in a minute. Huh? So hopefully I was able to answer that for you, Brooklyn's finest. And let's see, what was, and y'all give Z a second. We're going to play this next one, and then I'll read that because my background about to get a little noisy. So let's play this next one.
I'm gonna ask a question, but I need you to be honest. Have any of you women living with a man actually achieved the soft life? Because the other day I was sitting at my girlfriend's house and I came over after I leisurely woke up at 9:30, no kids, so I got to sleep in until whenever I wanted, scrolled on my phone for a little bit. Then I go over to my girlfriend's house and she has a cookie butter latte waiting for me. And we sit in her beautifully decorated, clean apartment and we're just chatting. And our conversations are filled with so much depth. She makes sure, do you need a water? Is your coffee too sweet? Is it just how you like it? I'm having the best time. And then it hits me. I go, my God, I have just achieved the soft life. I say, look what's happening right in front of us, Bailey. We have achieved the soft life. And I think, my God, they have lied to us. Because here's the thing, I've been in plenty of relationships. I lived with my last long-term partner and I thought I wanted to live together so bad because I was so in love. But the emotional labor I had to constantly perform as someone who was very emotionally intelligent and was with a partner who was not, was exhausting. It was draining. The relationship wasn't the best. So yes, we were fighting with each other. But even on our best days, even when I'm like, this is my person, this is my best friend, I was still doing much more labor. The emotional labor was chronic, even if we weren't in a fight, because he didn't have to develop those skills. He grew up in the patriarchy. He didn't have to think about other people. Even when he wasn't trying, there was an undercurrent of selfishness. And then I was cooking every single day and I cook for myself every single day. But guess what? My food lasts. The food would never last. Constant grocery store trips. And the conversations had nowhere near the amount of depth, the amount of kindness to the world. My cortisol levels were so high. And I guess I will acknowledge was not in a healthy relationship because I know people are going to come in and say, well, I have a good one. But I want you to really think, even at the best, I really think if you're at the point where you can provide for yourself financially, you will have the most stress-free life. My life is so stress-free right now. I never cry anymore. I feel like whenever I have a partner that I bring into my life, the men make me cry. They do something where I'm crying. They disappoint me where I'm crying. No one's here to disappoint me. Even when I date a good man and maybe the conflict is respectful, the emotional stuntedness of it, even if they're willing to learn, is exhausting. I don't know. I always used to think that I wanted marriage and kids, and I'm just like, why actually would I? Like, this is the soft life. Why would I get rid of my soft life right now?
You gotta love these little children who say, oh, there's a trade-off for the baller man. Madam, let us find out that your ex had some good money. He had a good career. Because if you were Miss Montana, I know you wasn't dating no bum-ass white dude in Montana. BFE Montana. The whole state of Montana is BFE. But F Egypt, for those of you that don't know, some of you younger brothers that don't know the term. Essentially, it means Nowheresville, USA. Huh? I put money he wasn't a bum loser, no money having white dude. The trade-off for that lifestyle you was trying to get is maybe an emotionally unintelligent man. That was the trade-off, madam. I put money he wasn't particularly unattractive either. Maybe that's the cost. These ladies want an emotionally intelligent man who's king of the universe, a master of the universe man, with all the money and all the emotional intelligence and the kindness. Huh? And emotional intelligence just means a man that caters to her every whim emotionally. A ass kisser. Huh? Don't question her. Don't question her emotional state at the moment. Little weak, fragile. I was always crying, and we couldn't keep no groceries in the house. This is coping talk. Once again, to the title. It's called coping. You're coping, madam. You are coping. Call it what it is. Little bitter Betty coward. Huh? And let's see if we can read that Arena Revised comment. Okay, the Arena Revised says, it all comes together, Z. Miss Theus, or Thice, is in Hollywood, and the best she could pull was a B reality show dude who cut her loose last fall. The wall hits harder for those with failed Hollywood dreams. Oh. So, madam, just say that. You went to Hollywood, and those white women in Hollywood play for keeps. Those white women in Hollywood play for keeps. They getting pogo sticked in. They doing what they need to do for the lifestyle. And maybe you just didn't want to play. There's nothing wrong with that, madam. But stop being a bitter Betty and spewing your nonsense online. Oh, the men are so toxic. No, you ain't want to play the game. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. No, I really mean that. So now your grift is talking crap about the men to other women. I promise you, dear black women, dear you working class white women and you Latinas, this lady gonna turn around. If she could catch her one, all that crap is gonna go out the window. I'm letting y'all know now. If she could catch her, one of those behind the scenes white dudes, maybe any man of color, but white dudes making $250,000 a year in Hollywood, $500,000, a couple $100,000 a year. If she could catch her one of those, she will do it. That doesn't mean she don't still keep on making content like this, grifted off y'all ass. She'll just become a Drew Alfiello. All these men are trash except for my man. Huh? Yeah. And the plot thickens. But does it though? Don't we see this from a bunch of women? This is Mr. Z's whole point. And thank you, the Arena Revised, for doing the research. We getting the research done while we talking. Thank you, the Arena Revised. It's only proven Mr. Z's point. Once again, the title for today's stream is, listen closely, Dear Ebony K. Williams, dear Tracy Ellis Ross, dear Claudia Jordan, dear all of you, Amanda Seals, Angela Rye, all of you, it's coping. All y'all doing is coping. On the interviews, on your podcast, when it comes to relationships and intimacy with men, the way y'all speak, all you're doing is coping. It's all cope talk. That's all. And shout out to the Arena Revised. It's all coping. So homegirl is a Z-list wannabe actress. So she took her basic in South Florida, basic in Hollywood ass looks to Hollywood. She was the ish in Montana. She was a 9.5, 10 in Montana. She took that 9.5 and 10 in Montana and took it to Hollywood, and she's a 7. And now she don't know how to deal with it, and she bitter. Mr. Z will let y'all know Mr. Z is extra average height, average weight for my height. Unfortunately, those of us that's my height and my weight, we should actually be lighter, but that's another story for another day. But you know what Mr. Z is not doing? Going to Hollywood, realizing I don't cut the mustard, and then being a little resentful, bitter troll, defecating on women because I ain't the ish in Hollywood. I didn't take these looks to Hollywood, realize I can't compete with Michael B. Jordan. Realize I can't compete with Aaron Pierre and all the other dudes black dudes that women find attractive, Idris Elba and the like. And then start a YouTube channel just being a little bitter ass dude. Because I went for my 8 millionth audition and they told me, nah, Z, not you. Then I'm going to start a whole YouTube channel defecating on the ladies. Nope. Now, I do got a YouTube channel being honest about the ladies. Little bitter Betties. Shout out to you, Miss Julie. You just a little bitter Betty. Oh, it didn't work out in Hollywood, so now you have to start up a YouTube channel. And you and dude didn't work out, so now you have to start up a YouTube channel spewing your nonsense. Little sexist troll. Thank you for that, Arena Revive. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Mr. Z gonna go to Hollywood, y'all. And I'm gonna try to compete against the good-looking brothers. Fail. And then just be angry at the world. Oh, wait, Mr. Z don't gotta wait a minute. Mr. Z may not have the looks, but Mr. Z got the charisma and the personality. You never know. Mr. Z could maybe make it in Hollywood. Madam, is it the looks or is everything around about you basic outside of Montana? Ooh, goddamn, Z. Maybe you're not who you thought you were. And because of that, instead of you looking in the mirror and dealing with that, you on the internet spewing your sexist nonsense. Have you ever considered that? Maybe you're not who you thought you were. And it took you having to leave Montana and taking your ass to California, you know, largest population in the country, largest economy in the country, or largest GDP, sorry, in the country. And because you in the, you know, most people, largest GDP in the country, in the county, LA County, with what, 10 million people, LA County got more people than the whole state you came from. And then some. What's the population of Montana? What's LA County? 9, 10 million people? So you in LA County and you mad at the world because your prospects that you thought you had didn't turn out to be nothing in LA County. I'm not even talking about the city. I'm talking about the whole county. Pathetic. Little bitter Betties. And y'all gives you a second. Son's clicking and clacking in here. You know what we're going to do? Let's do this. Let's play that third one where she's just talking her crap still. There we go.
Have you ever wondered why there's a male loneliness epidemic, but there isn't a female epidemic? Shouldn't we be just as lonely? Aren't there our counterparts? It's actually because we aren't lonely. In fact, most of us felt lonelier when we were with you. The other part of this is women like being around other women. Y'all don't even like being around each other. And in our loneliness,
we're not lonely. That's why we're recording ourselves crying and being lonely.
Whatever reason, I'm just not allowed to experience love from another person. And yes, although you know, I don't have that. There are other areas of my life that are flourishing, you know, like my YouTube channel and friendships, and it's giving me opportunity to pour into those friendships and pour into myself, which I think are equally as important. But I think people tend to forget that platonic love doesn't replace romantic love. And so as much as I am fulfilled by, you know, my friendships and, you know, relationships with my family and things like that, it still doesn't replace that desire that I have deep down for something more. And it's hard. It's a hard thing to suppress. It's a hard thing to put on the back burner, and not knowing how long I'm going to be in this season scares me a little bit. And it also scares me to know that it may not ever happen, that it may not ever happen. And so it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making much sense in this video.
Yeah. Oh, and Mr. Z got way more where that come from.
Personally, I am done with all women-centered events in 2025. The women empowerment brunches, lunches, the ladies' nights, I'm just gonna take a pause. Like, I need enough. I have my sisterhood. Of course, I'm open to making new friends, but there's other ways to do that and to spend my money. Like, where's the...
You know what I'm getting real sick and tired of? Being single. And I get it. It's going to be some people in the comments talking about, you don't need a man to validate you. You should be by yourself. You should use this time to work on you. Child, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm sick and I'm tired and I'm sick of being single. I'm trying to come home to somebody every night. I'm trying to get my booty rubbed on. I'm trying to put on a cute dress and some heels and go out to dinner. I'm trying to get a bill or two paid. Like, I don't need a companion, somebody to talk to. I don't give a fuck about no validation.
Y'all want to come in my comments talking about male-centered, decenter men. You know who I'm decentering? I'm decentering you that think that all women should think like you. I'm decentering you fake ass girl ass. I am decentering you because you're the problem. For my life and my experiences, you have always been the problem.
I am tired of the amount of gaslighting us single people have to go through. Because let's be honest, a lot of the things that our friends in relationships can get for free, we have to pay for. And there's no amount of self-love or therapy that can kind of circumvent the frustration that being single is very expensive. Because if, an example, I am sick, I don't have anyone who can cook for me. My friend can ask her boyfriend to cook for her. I have to DoorDash something. If I need help moving something in my house, I need to go find someone and pay that person to come over and move it. Well, my friend can just ask her partner. And all those things just add up. If you lose your job, you have someone who can help you with rent. If you are having like financial trouble or health trouble, you now need to like disclose that to your family or friends, which might be embarrassing, or you can tell your one husband or your wife to help you through that. It is so frustrating to have to go through so many things alone and make these really big decisions, hard decisions completely by myself. I have my friends, I have my family, I love them, I can lean on them, but maybe I don't want to tell them all about my finances. Maybe I don't want to have to over-explain my entire health condition to them. Maybe I just need someone to help me with a real quick task that I don't want to have to pay someone or wait for someone to drive across town to come help me. And it is so frustrating because we're told that, being single is great. And it's really great when compared to an unhealthy relationship. But being single is not always better than having a healthy relationship. Don't get me wrong, I am not going to go hop into a relationship with a man just so I can have someone. But I do think we need to be honest that being single, while it can be really great, is also very impractical sometimes.
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. The that feels so disempowering sometimes to say in 2025. And people make you feel like, oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily... Yes.
Oh, another night going home alone. This single life is ass. And don't get under my post talk about some. Just focus on yourself. Love yourself. Date yourself. I don't want to hear that shit. I really don't. I'm tired of it. Stop trying to tell me to mask my desires for being with someone else, that I should just be with myself. I've been with myself. I'm always going to be with myself. Like, it's me and her to the end of time. Like, stop it. Like, after a long day of work, I just be wanting to lay down. I want to cuddle. I want to tell my man about my day. I just want to hug. Like, damn. Like, it don't even be about all the other stuff y'all be talking about. It just be the simple things that you miss the most. Like, that's really it. Like, it's not even like, it just be the simple things. That's all I'm going to say. So just be grateful if you got somebody and you got a hug today. Because you know what?
I don't need no man.
Yeah. Huh? Let's play her again so we can show everybody what we're responding to again with all these videos of primary black women telling you they can't do it no more. Right? And Medina, let her know again what y'all do to cope.
Look at me. If you were single, if you were a single woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, look at me, okay? I was feeling great about myself. I was like, I'm a bad bitch. I'm single. I don't need no man. I actually really would love a man, and I do need a man. But just, this is what we say when we're single and we just want to... Anyway, focus, Medina. Look at me. If you are a single...
Yeah. So Miss Julie, this is what you're doing. Uh-oh. Again to the title. It's called coping. Because that's what all of you ladies are engaging in. I'd rather be single anyway. I'm perfectly okay with being single. I want my peace. I don't want no man in my house anyway. Loser talk. You can't fire me, I quit talk. Petulant child behavior. Huh? Petulant child behavior. Continuing.
Have you ever wondered why there's a male loneliness epidemic, but there isn't a female epidemic? Shouldn't we be just as lonely? Aren't there our counterparts? It's actually because we aren't lonely. In fact, most of us felt lonelier when we were with you. The other part of this is women like being around other women. Y'all don't even like being around each other. And in our loneliness, after we realized how many times you guys were going to keep disappointing us, we found ways to be fulfilled. And in that, we realized, hey, this is a lot more peaceful. What did you guys do? You opted out and you numbed. You leaned into your porn addiction. You never emotionally evolved. You never developed any type of emotional skills to cope with all of the pain, all of the shame, all of the inadequacy that you feel.
You numbed. You leaned into your porn addiction. You numbed? Madam, you literally have an entire page dedicated to defecating on men and proclaiming how happy you are with and how much in peace you are with being single. That don't sound like numbing? I guarantee you I could guess what else you'd have numbed. Oops. Huh? Mrs. Z, no, you got something else that's numb. Huh? We know something else is numb down there. But I know that rose toward working overtime. That's if, and don't think that it's not possible, if she don't got one of these regular smegular ass LA white dudes, maybe even a Latino, sliding through and knocking the cobwebs out once a week. She could be talking all this crap and still got a white dude or a Latino dude, maybe a brother, maybe a black man, sliding through and knocking all the cobwebs out. This is her just coping because the type of man she really wants in LA, there's dozens of them. It's whether they want her, whether they reciprocate that feeling. And apparently not. And this is her coping. Again to the title. Continuing.
Have you ever wondered why there's a male loneliness epidemic, but there isn't a female epidemic? Shouldn't we be just as lonely? Aren't there our counterparts? It's actually because we aren't lonely. In fact, most of us felt lonelier when we were with you. The other part of this is women like being around other women. Y'all don't even like being around each other. And in our loneliness, after we realized how many times you guys were going to keep disappointing us, we found ways to be fulfilled. And in that, we realized, hey, this is a lot more peaceful. What did you guys do? You opted out and you numbed. You leaned into your porn addiction. You never emotionally evolved. You never developed any type of emotional skills to cope with all of the pain, all of the shame, all of the inadequacy that you feel. You men are struggling. And this is why I actually can't believe that men aren't against the patriarchy, because you are suffering in the patriarchy. You are drug addicts in the patriarchy. You are committing suicide in the patriarchy. You cannot talk about your feelings because of the patriarchy. You kept getting lonelier and lonelier. And let me tell you, loneliness is what happens when you refuse to grow, but still expected to be loved. And women are done. And you want to know what our result is we don't have a loneliness epidemic. We have an entire epidemic where women are realizing that they have much less labor, where they are realizing that they have much more peace, where they aren't emotionally dysregulated because they're not being abused. And women built emotional skills to deal with your abuse. And now look what happened is we have out-evolved you to the point where so many women are like, this is actually better, but we are not the ones that are lonely. You are, and that should be a problem to you.
The Arena Revised. Arena Revised is doing the work, the Lord's work. I got you, Arena Revised. I got you. Wait a minute. We gonna fix this. We see what the issue is, lady. Oh, we see what the issue is. Huh? If this is the right dude, this is the X. Uh-oh. Let's do Arena Revised some justice and bring that comment up. Yes, he let us know something real quick. Where is that comment, Arena Revised? Where is that comment? Where did that comment go? Y'all give me a second. We want to make sure we give the Arena Revised his flowers for finding this for us. The Arena Revised gave us this man's name, and I can't even find the damn comment. I literally just saw the comment a minute ago. I literally just saw the comment. There we go. And the Arena Revised says his name is Shane Jansen from Love is Blow. That's the X? You mean this guy right here? He lost weight. He left her ass. Okay, look, y'all know Mr. Z says that petty stuff. I'm not about men being petty, but I really reserve that for black women. Now we know black women don't hold their tongue for us. They actually are even meaner to us than they are to non-black men. But Mr. Z is not about being petty to black people. Oh, but this little white woman, oh yeah, we gonna laugh in her face. Oh, so he lost weight and he lost you. Huh? Oh, that's your real issue. Huh? Yeah. Now we see. Oh, so this is all coping for real. Look, Mr. Z knew it. Dear Claudia Jordan, this is who you are following. This is who you decided to put a comment down. A little bitter Betty who mad that she was with the chunky Shane Jansen, and when Shane lost weight, he was probably, even if he didn't quote unquote leave her, he was out there exercising his options. And then she left him. Yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah. Huh? Oh. Mr. Shane Jansen got the whole six-pack coming through and he left your ass. Oh, and instead of you dealing with that like an adult, you're throwing temper tantrums. You can't fire me, I quit. Really, what you're saying is
fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Huh? And we get it. Huh? We get it. Yeah, that's your real issue. Thank you, though, Arena Revised. Yeah, that's her real issue. Say that. And Mr. Shane Vicious says, oh, he self-improved and the options became abundant. And now she's throwing a temper tantrum all over the internet on Instagram. And instead of her being honest about this, I don't want no man in my house anyway. And he was eating me out of house and home. Clearly he was eating and working out. Maybe he wasn't eating as much as you were saying, as much as you're saying, clearly. Say that. And the Arena Revive says, Claudia Jordan, is this your hero? Killmonger voice. Say that. It's all coping. All of these women are coping. I'd rather be single anyway. Yeah, that's it. You wanted 5 kids. You wanted 5 kids. As I told y'all, from the chisel chin white dude, he had a little gut on him, you know, just a teeny little flab. He started going to the gym, lost the flab. Not all the other white women in Hollywood, the Latinas, even probably a couple of sisters, probably definitely the black women. Now they drooling over him. Now they see him. They saw him before. Now they really see him. And now you feel unseen. Oh. And instead of you being an adult and being honest with yourself, what your issue is, you were supposed to sell it in the sunset with this dude. That's understandable. And it didn't work out that way. Okay, understandable. And instead of you being an adult and coming to terms with that, you're on the internet spewing your misandry nonsense and couching it like you care about other women. You don't care about other women, madam. You're trying to defecate on all men using your little failed situation here. Oh. Child. Absolute child. Huh? Little bitter Betty? Let me read some of y'all super chat. Little bitter Betty, we knew it. And the Split Gem says, neurodivergent girl, my qualification is my medical diagnosis. This girl today collecting data uses anecdotal evidence. Y'all are liars. So now we can see what the real issue is. Women like to pretend like they're so much more emotionally intelligent than the men. They're mature, they're emotionally intelligent, they've done the work, they don't need no man. They're doing well in life. And they're doing even better when they're single. They're at peace. They get to wake up, as she said, at 9:30 and go get whatever cookie, whatever the hell latte she was talking about with her friends. That's great. But their real issue is now Mr. Jansen out here with the 6-pack. Huh? Out here with the 6-pack. He probably lifting them. He lifting them women up and down in Hollywood. Uh-oh. God forbid his career actually kicks off. Oh man. You want to talk about bitter ex-girlfriend? Huh? Yeah. We are made to believe, and I say we as a society, not as the Black manosphere, we are made to believe that when these women talk, it's not in bad faith. They care about people. They specifically care about women and girls. And they just don't want to see women and girls be abused, assaulted, be on the wrong side of a man's power. That is what we are made to believe in this society. We are not made to believe that these women are just little bitter, angry trolls, angry at the world. That whatever they thought was supposed to happen with a man or with men, whatever they thought was supposed to happen, these ladies, with their sex lives, with their relationship or relationship prospects, with how many men were supposed to be available and fawning over them, Whatever didn't happen, now these women get to exit that situation, or maybe never had a situation, and gallivant, run around society, the internet, social media, spewing their toxic nonsense, their misandry, but couching it and framing it as if, no, they care about the outcomes of women. They care about women not being on the wrong side of a man. They care about women not having to overextend themselves or extend themselves in relationship to immature, emotionally unintelligent men. These women get to couch it as if they care about community, they care about society, and they care about other women. When in reality, these are just bitter, angry trolls. They're resentful. And a split gym, once again, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. They're just resentful. Huh? And like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. TD Tellum says, and I'll put money that she was dating a Dusty. The T app showed us that. And regardless of him being Dusty, she loved him to the end of the earth. I'll bet money on that. Well, what it's looking like is maybe not. It looks like both of them were aspiring actors or aspiring to break into Hollywood. That's what it looked like. And it looks like right now it could go either way, but it might lean to him. They didn't work out. And now, well, instead of her being honest that, hey, I was with this dude and it looked like he might take off and I might not, and he left me, or he started exercising his options and I left him, and I'm still angry about it. Instead of her being honest with herself, forget us in the internet. Instead of her being honest with herself and then maybe having the ovaries to be honest with those that follow her on the internet, on Instagram, instead of her doing that, she's couching her resentfulness as some type of dark psychology for women. No, you're just a bitter Betty. You're just a bitter troll, an angry, bitter troll. All you're doing is what children do. You can't fire me, I quit. I didn't want a man anyway. I'm much happier with my peace anyway. No, you're just a bitter troll. Huh? And thank you for the super chat. TD, tell him thank you for the super chat. She's just a bitter troll, bro. Regardless if he's a Dusty or not, she is just a bitter troll. Let's put this back up. She is just a bitter troll. And shout out to Arena Revise doing the Lord's work with the research. She's just a bitter troll. And this is good to know for those of you, shout out to Charles Faulkner Jr., who are red pill for black women, and then you blue pill for these non-black women. No, these non-black women be bitter trolls too. And they're spreading all of their toxic sludge about men, white men in particular, but about men, because their situation didn't work out. It's not just a black woman thing. No, white women and Latina women and Asian women do the same thing. Well, I'm happy with my peace. No, madam, you admitted that you had dreams and aspirations of getting married and having 5 children. And it didn't work out. Fine. It be like that sometimes. It happens, madam. It happens. But instead of you being an adult and dealing with that, you on the internet coping with being resentful towards men. Like a child. You want to talk about empathy? Madam, you're a child. A child in a woman's body. Shout out to all you technocrats. This is a child in a woman's body. My life is not turning out the way I want it, so I'm just going to throw a temper tantrum. Tasmanian devil ass. Huh? Child. Alexa, play the meme of Coach Greg Adams meme. I'm not happy. Temper tantrum, throw that child. Your average woman, especially the Julies of the world, when their relationship or intimate or romantic life doesn't go the way they want, just throwing a damn temper tantrum, throwing things all over the place like a child, petulant child, and then claiming some type of emotional intelligence. Okay, yeah, that's it. I done the work. Huh? Child. You know what else is childlike behavior? When you in the corner with the sour face, hating from the sidelines. Oh, hating from the sidelines, ass women.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Did I or did I not say years ago? Shout out to all the new heads. My old heads already remember Mr. Z saying this. My day ones. This goes back to elementary and middle school, not even as adults. The cute girl that we all found attractive in middle school, in high school, what the young men didn't appreciate is there was a couple of women, in this case black women, in this case darker than a brown paper bag black women, who were in the corner. They were girls at the time, to be fair, in the corner seething. See, we didn't know and we didn't appreciate this when you were 12 years old, 11 years old, 14, 15, 16 years old. You didn't appreciate that there were girls in the corner of the class angry at the world that we found a little cute, sometimes light-skinned woman attractive. But she didn't always have to be light-skinned. She could have been the little cute black girl with the bubble butt, or she was real chesty. Huh? Real chesty, real breasty. We ain't gonna cross the line. We're talking about minors right now. And what we didn't appreciate at 12 years old was that some of our fellow students, the girls, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, were in the corner bitter. And she was going to be 21 bitter, and 25 bitter, and 27 bitter, and 30 bitter, 32, 35 years old bitter. And whenever you walked up to a lighter skinned black woman, maybe a white woman or a Latina, it was going to remind her, even though she never forgot it, it's not like she ever forgot it, it was going to remind her of the times that boys that look like you 10, 15, 20 years ago, in her mind, overlooked her for the light-skinned yitch. Huh? We gonna play it again. Shout out to the Dave Chappelle voice. Hating ass face. Shout out to Dave Chappelle. This is women in general. Little bitter Bennies. Huh? But in this case, we showing a black woman And her hating ass face. Boy, you got caught on camera with the most hating ass face ever. Oh, you gotta love it. Continuing.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Man. Mr. Shane Vicious says, the contrast is amazing, isn't it? He also says, her smiling and being friendly makes her more attractive. But that's not what the ladies see. What they see is the color, the skin tone. Y'all always going to the light-skinned woman. Have you ever considered that maybe in this one case, I'm not saying all the time, you can see the lighter-skinned woman is more friendly and pleasant. And not only that, okay, fine. Let's say he goes up to the light-skinned woman first. What you could see from the video is not that the dark-skinned woman has a neutral look on her face. You could see the disdain on her face. So even if he was going to go to her next, maybe this is a test, right? Man on the street type of interview type of thing, whatever. Even if he was going to go to her next, why would he now when you could clearly see her facial expression, her face? This is not even just resting B face, resting yitch face. There's a disdain there. Now we're assuming that she doesn't know this dude. That's what we're assuming. We could be wrong. Look at the look on her face. Dear ladies, dear black women, dear dark-skinned black women, you don't owe men, especially not black men, being pleasant. You don't owe black men a smile. You don't owe black men kindness. You don't owe black men you being pleasant, you being cordial, you being inviting. Dear black women, dear dark-skinned black women, you owe black men none of it. But what you have to appreciate is on the other side of that, black men don't owe you a wedding ring, goddamn. Black men don't owe you consideration. Black men don't owe you dating you. Black men don't owe you first right of refusal over the light-skinned black woman, the racially ambiguous black woman, the non-black woman, the white and Latina women. I want to be clear. You owe black men nothing. This is something that black men know. This is something that black women make sure that black boys and black men know. Black girls and black women owe you nothing as a black boy and as a black man. Huh? But ladies, what you have to appreciate is your resting yitch face and that look of complete and total disgust. Black men don't owe you trying to brighten up your day with compliments and kindness and being pleasant. Black men don't owe you that. Huh? You see this in so many women, that it's a man's job to hop over this hurdle, hop over this bulletproof, bomb-proof 15-foot, 20-foot spiked wall, barbed wire wall. It's your job to be Spider-Man and climb up this 25 feet wall, barbed wire at the top, to prove to me. So I'm going to be behind this 25 feet wall with barbed wire at the top, and the barbed wire 25-foot wall is my resting yitch face. It's me walking fast on the street It's my general unpleasant disposition. It's me being short and curt when I speak to you. It's me looking like I want to be unbothered, but it's your job as a man to overcome all of that. And what I appreciate about young men in particular is their general disposition is no. We will leave you and resign you to the handful of men that don't care nothing about that, that might be disrespectful, or they might not be, but they know how to play the game and they gonna get over that wall, right? They're gonna find a way to get on the other side of that wall, whether they dig, giggity, or climb up the wall, giggity again. And they're gonna have fun with you for 9 months, a year, and then they're gonna drop you. We'll leave you to those men. Women don't owe men being pleasant and kind and inviting. But what women have to appreciate, that includes black women, that includes darker than a brown paper bag black women, is that just like you don't owe the men being inviting, just like you don't owe black men in particular being kind and inviting and pleasant, those black men don't owe you first right of refusal and consideration. So if you just gonna sit there in the corner with the resentful face, so be it. We're gonna play it again, one more again.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
And that's something I think that needs to be stressed. Mainly from the olders and elders. Ladies, you don't owe the men nothing, but you have to appreciate on the other side of that, they don't owe you anything. And Detro says, 91 lookers, 59 likers, 32 lurkers. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. 32 of y'all just looking, no likes, no nothing. Right? And once again, thank you, Detro. Thank you for that. And that's exactly how she looked. And Vince says, I don't like that ish from Belly. Yeah. Where was that? Ohio, St. Louis? Dude with the banana? Yes, y'all. I know it sounds questionable, but they made it look questionable the way he was eating that banana. I know. If you didn't see Belly, I don't know how you didn't see Belly. Everybody that watched Belly know what scene Mr. Z talking about. I don't like that ish. Right? And that's how she looked for real. They're straight hating from the corner. Right? Now, if these people have a previous history, a past history, that's a different conversation. But assuming that this dude is just not meeting them, it's not a good look. And black women, this is what men have associated with black women in specific behavior. Women's behavior, but black women in specific, and in this case, darker skinned black women in specifics behavior. As Big Mo says here, the consequence of black women's behavior is that while most black men are not colorists, being mean and rude to black men as darker skinned women just leads to subconscious conditioning in black men to associate white women with peace. And that's exactly what it is, right? That's exactly what it is. And I'm sorry for the background, y'all. Exactly. And that's something that women just don't want to come to terms with. Black women don't want to come to terms with because they just want to be who they want to be. Nothing wrong with that. But still have men try to prove themselves to these ladies, try to overcome and prove to these ladies why they should put their quote unquote guard down. And what the ladies don't appreciate is you're dealing with the new generation of men, young millennials and Gen Z, that don't care nothing about your wall and your guard. They're just going to move on to the next woman. Or they've conditioned, as Big Mo was saying, you have conditioned them, and this environment has conditioned them not to even consider you in the first place. And then when they run across two women, lighter skin, darker skin, and the darker skinned woman just happens to be the snarkier, sassier one, the smug one, it only confirms this. It's not fair. And black men are black men in a white settler state, neo-colonial settler state. Black men know about this society not being fair. Black men are deleted on camera by white vigilantes and corrupt cops. And those people, up until recently, are let go and celebrated. You want to talk about not fair? So yes, dark-skinned black women, I'll grant you it's not fair. I know some of y'all know Z, no, they got their preference, and okay, no, you know what? Let's go with it. Okay, it's not fair. And black women want black men with the income and the wealth of elite white men who's sitting on generations of wealth. That's not fair. Oops. Huh? And y'all disposition women, black women's disposition towards that is what? So what? Oops. Huh? Black women are openly saying that the black community is a matriarchy and should be a matriarchy. That's not fair. And black women's general disposition towards that is, well, so what? What you gonna do about it? So to the ladies, I say, if that means that maybe darker skinned black women might have to be a bit more pleasant to get their foot in the game, and the problem is, dear black women, dear darker skinned black women in specific, you said you're not gonna do it. Not for no black men anyway. There's nothing wrong with that. Deal with what you're gonna deal with, whether it's the pookies, whether it's the dudes you gotta pay for, whether it's the white man, oops, that you're gonna have to pay for and subsidize, yikes. Huh? The Latino mechanic that's smashing for the free. Huh? You ended up with another woman, probably a black woman, and then telling us love is love and you can't help who you love. Huh? Or you whoring yourself for some type of white man with a couple of dollars. Hopefully one of these naive ones marry you. So be it. Dear ladies, you don't got to do nothing. Black women, you don't have to do anything. Dark-skinned black women, you don't have to do anything for black men. Not a nothing. Just deal with the consequences of that. Huh? And you out here in the elements then. And that it is, it's cold. Huh? And that's all I'm saying. And Blue Sox says, big facts. There's a cost to having that black girl attitude. There's a cost to that. There's a cost. Maybe the cost to that is that you don't get black men, or any man for that matter, but black men with high income. Maybe that's the cost. Maybe you don't end up with the black men with some status. Maybe now you have resigned yourself to pookies, bummy white dudes and Latino dudes, and your white bosses and coworkers who just want to pogo stick down your esophagus because piping and punching her tonsils, a mean black woman, an aggressive black woman's tonsils, ain't nothing make you feel better than the mouthy black woman, well, stuff in her mouth. Maybe that's what you relegate yourself to. Huh? Thank you. And Shane Vicious says, or the Jason Popes of the world. Huh? Maybe that's what you relegate yourself to. Yeah, that's the cost, ladies. Play it one more again for the people, Z. We're gonna play it one more again.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! Oh, sorry.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Whoever edited that video, the Dave Chappelle sound drop was chef's kiss perfect, because her facial expression actually did say all of that. Her facial expression, yes, it did say all of that. Whoever edited that video, who saw this video and decided, oh, I know exactly what sound clip to put to this. Chef's kiss perfect. Because yes, her facial expression did say all of that. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Thank you. If looks could delete, boy, that boy, Thanos snap. Her eyes, Thanos snap that boy. Right? Oh, man. And I want you to appreciate he could still get her number. I'm not talking about the dark skin sister. I'm talking about that whatever racially ambiguous, light skin, Latina, white girl this is. Huh? He said rock, paper, scissors for your number. The fact that she was willing to do it in the first place means he could still get her number. And then when he asked her to turn around, she still turned around. She still had a smile on her face. He could still get her number. Huh? Ah. Little bitter Betty, once again, is called coping. Look at the look on her face. Look at the look on her face, y'all. Oh my God. Oh. And everybody pretends like they wonder why black women are so chronically single. Then a woman like this, she gonna go follow Chrissy. All that colorism talk. A woman like this turns around and goes subscribe and follow Chrissy, the colorist queen. And yet these black men, they like them, like they red bonnet and they're racially ambiguous. And I'm happier being single anyway. These are women that follow Chrissy with Chrissy talking like this.
This is what I tell average looking and below average looking women. If you can't date up, be alone. Life is easier that way. And I know that's controversial. I don't care. I don't care.
Huh? They follow Chrissy sounding like that. They follow Kim Foster sounding like this.
Because getting a man is not hard. Can we? Truly. Okay, no matter what happens with my relationship status, getting a man is not an accomplishment in 2023. And it also pisses me off. And this is why, like, Brittany is really fucking setting the free 30-something women the fuck back, okay? You're embarrassing us. Okay? And this is why I will always respect Amber Rose. Because to this day, Amber Rose is like, I'll take your fucking shit. I don't give a fuck. I do what I want to do. Sometimes it's a little cringy, but I'm going to stand on my shit. I'm going to own it. I love this. Whatever. She never switched up. Brittany's doing exactly. She's doing exactly what the manosphere niggas talk about. Okay? Which is, you have a bad experience with a wealthy, high-profile person. You have a baby. You get dragged through the mud. And then you realize you're in your early 30s. This is their narrative. Their narrative is then you have a baby, you get dragged through the mud, and then you realize, oh, the clock is ticking. And so now you have to completely rebrand into a loud and proud pick me and scold other women about what they're not doing to get them in. That is exactly what they say. Why would stop embarrassing us. Stop embarrassing us. As a single 33-year-old woman, stop it. Okay? I hope she at least, gets man she desires. I hope she gets some good, faithful dick to swoop in or whatever, pay her car note or whatever.
And this is a good time to read this. And Mr. Shane Vicious says, most women don't understand the full meaning of emotional intelligence. They think it just means having empathy for people. They fail to realize that it includes regulating your emotions, Miss Foster. Huh? Great time to read this. Read that last sentence again, Z. They fail to realize that it includes regulating your emotions, whoever this darker skinned black woman is.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! Oh, sorry.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Mr. Shane Vicious, you know what's fascinating? Women like this, they tell us that they're happy being single, they love their peace, they enjoy their peace. They tell us about colorism, futurism, texturism. But they're in the corner, seething, angry at the world when a black man just makes a choice. When a black man approaches the Latina, the racially ambiguous black woman, the light-skinned black woman. Huh? These little bitter Betties. Look at the look on her face. They fail to realize that it includes regulating your emotions. Look at the look on her face. You know, the birth rate in America is plummeting around the developing world. The birth rate in Black America over the 50% income line is lower than their white counterparts. And if I'm not mistaken, is a bit lower than some of their Asian counterparts also. And as I said, I suspect that that is much of because of what it cost us to earn above median income, what it costs Black people. What makes it even more difficult to have children is that what we ask Black men to do, borderline demand them to do, not borderline Z, true indeed, is to take women like this and make them wives and have children with them, knowing that Black women file for some 80% of divorces and that marriage lasts some 5 years on average in the Black community. Knowing that even if you date her and y'all get married, that in her mind, as a Black woman, as a darker skinned Black woman, is resentment at Black men because of this. Huh? Because of this. Once again, shout out to Mr. Shane Vicious, and he says, and thank you for the super chat, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Most women don't understand the full meaning of emotional intelligence. You know, not destroying a marriage because of whatever hangups you have. They think it just means having empathy for people. I don't even think they think that. I think they just say it. They fail to realize that it includes regulating your emotions, some of which is your facial expressions when you're unhappy. You may not need to emote so that everyone can feel your wrath. Huh? The heat emanating from that lady's face damn near melted everybody's screen. And once again, Mr. Shane Vicious, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Oh man. Let me answer this. And Southpaw says, Z, is that black woman mad at white women for having a better looking body in this clip? In the clip? I don't know. Right? Because her look is that if she's angry about the interaction, it could be this white woman's body, but she do got a bubble. At least that's what the dress is showing. Relatively okay face from what we could see, right? Okay, positive disposition, right? At least from what we could see this interaction. But from the way I'm seeing it, her issue is with the interaction. This lady's body might be even more of an issue. And as you can see, if I saw it correctly, I'll play it one more again. This is like our 5th time playing it, maybe 6th. It looks like her arms are folded too, so she just looks completely unpleasant. It's the look on her face. If I remember correctly, her arms are folded. She just looks unpleasant. So could she be mad at the whatever this lady is, super light skinned, racially ambiguous, maybe white woman, Latina, whatever she is? Could it be her body or her shape? Yes. But I think it's a number of things. It's the interaction. It's the fact that homegirl is so and if they know each other, this could be one of those old Stefco type of situations. Every time we go out, these dudes keep on approaching my light skin or racially ambiguous friend, and like I'm an afterthought if they even think of me at all. Yeah, Panda Man, unpleasant. It's just too much. It's just too much resting bee face. And it's not, to be fair, it's not even resting bee face. It's just anger. Let me see. Was her arms folded?
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo!
No, her arms aren't folded. She just have them in front of her. Her arms aren't folded. But once again, that unpleasant disposition, ladies, you can have that disposition, but you have to appreciate the men don't owe you anything. To all these little unpleasant, mean, rude women, the men don't owe you anything. We know you don't owe the men anything, but do you appreciate what that means? And Line says she mad because she forgot that she can curb certain men for whatever issue, but men can do the same. This entire society is trying to break men and men's preferences and what men like, and force men to quote unquote question why you like what you like in your preferences. Now, women can like whatever they like for whatever reason. Women can sound absolutely delusional about money, absolutely delusional about height, absolutely delusional about status, absolutely delusional about the comportment of the masses and the vast majority of men. Women can sound like that in America. And their quote unquote preferences go unquestioned. That's okay. But then men are supposed to interrogate our preferences, because something about our preferences is informed by white patriarchal European beauty standard. Nothing about what women quote unquote prefer should be questioned. Nothing about what they prefer is informed by something toxic or antisocial. Nothing that the women find appealing or attractive or that the women prefer is informed by European standards of success, beauty, etc., comportment, behavior, etc. So once again, it's always Jermaine's fault. Once again, there's something wrong with what men find attractive and appealing because it's informed by something disgusting, patriarchal, oppressive, etc., dehumanizing, inhumane. But the ladies, on the other hand, they just want someone who is emotionally intelligent, who has quote unquote done the work, who loves them, right? Everything that informs ladies, the women, is something benign and pro-social, right? And positive. Everything that informs the men is antisocial, it's regressive, it's sexist, and it's toxic. That's what we're made to believe in this society, not the Black manosphere, but the overall society. I'm going to clip this out. This is definitely going to be a video. It's not going to be a short. It's too long for a short pause, but it's definitely going to be a video. Yeah. Line says 2026 is the year of not explaining ish no more. Oh man, put some respect on my name. Some respect, right? Alpha Bear says no, she was mad she didn't get the chance first to reject him in a humiliating manner. I get what you're saying, humiliating manner. Yeah, that's definitely on the table. But she would have set the tone. Let's go with that. Alpha, if he would have approached her first and he would have attempted to, do the same thing, and she would have turned him down, rejected him in a humiliating manner, as you're saying, then that would have set the tone for the whatever this young lady is, light skinned, racially ambiguous, Latina, whatever, white. Huh? Yeah. So that's definitely up for consideration. The ladies definitely want first right of refusal, and they want to set the tone that when they reject you, you have been rejected by everyone in the circle, all the women in the circle. And none of the ladies want to say, damn, you went to go talk to her first. I found you attractive. She didn't. But now that you went to go talk to her first, you gave her something to use against me in the future. So even if you did approach me and I said yes, appreciate 6 months from now, a year from now, when me and her are in the outs, she gonna throw it in my face that you approached her first. And that's a thing. Don't think the ladies are not out here raging, I hit it first. The ladies are definitely out here raging, oh, he liked me first. He only went, you took my scraps, you took my leftovers. If you think women are above it, you got another thing coming. And that's for white women, black women, Latina women. Black women will just be so much more overt about it. You better believe they get into the smallest argument. And it's going to be implied, suggested. Let's be honest, Z. Let's be honest, Z. She's just going to outright throw it out there. Your man wanted me first. You got my leftovers. You know that's going to happen. So, yeah. So it puts women in an awkward position. I remember listening to a podcast years and years and years ago, and a lady said that at this age, I think she was in her 40s. She said at this age, I can't remember where she was living. It's definitely in the U.S. She was like, when you start, or when you keep doing the, I'm not gonna date my friend's exes, or I'm not gonna date whoever my friend used to date. It's very limiting. And this is a woman talking about dating men. This is a black woman talking about dating men. Huh? And when you, oh yeah, and part of the conversation was, excuse me, not dating men who your friend rejected. Not just not dating men who your friend dated, but not dating men who were interested in your friend 20 years ago, 15 years ago, in whatever, it just never happened and never turned into anything. And so now you meet that man 10 years later, 15, 20 years later, and now you still can't date him because she once went on a date or two with him 15 years ago. Yeah, it's a thing. It's definitely a thing. Huh? Oh, man. And let's read this from Bruce on Wayne. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. And Bruce on Wayne says, and thank you for the super chat, getting sick of not having a man to eat it. Okay, I'm going to word this a little different. And he says, getting sick of not having a man to munch it from the back on all fours. Sick of not having a face to ride. Hysterical. Hashtag Emperor Desaline lives on. Hashtag booty in my mouth. Oh, man. But as you're joking, Bruce Owen Wayne, but for real, as you're BSing, but for no, seriously though, that is a thing, right? That is a thing. See, it's one thing the Rose toy and whatever toys. Yeah, they get the ladies off, and they get the ladies off in no time, right? And she got to throw it across the room. But that's different than having a man enthusiastically munching from the back. That is definitely different than a man that says, hey, sit on my face. And gets off on it. That, you know, I know we went vulgar. I know we went sexual. Hopefully your kids aren't listening. But hopefully y'all got your headphones in at work. But Bruce, it's a joke what Bruce Wayne is saying. But honestly, even when the ladies claim, as Miss Julie said, that they're perfectly okay with their single life and they don't want no man in their house and they're at peace, and they got their Rose toy in the nightstand, and they got extra batteries in that same drawer, right? What is not happening is that intimacy with the opposite sex, including getting munched on from the back and right in the man's face. That's a thing. Bruce Wayne, no, for real, it is. So the ladies keep on claiming they're okay. We believe you. Not for the masses of you. A handful of you weirdos, yeah, we could believe you. And Charles Faulkner says, if you don't want to compete, don't expect to be on the podium. Don't expect a gold medal with fourth place effort. Say that. And that's what it is, Charles. The ladies say they're not competing for no man. Cool. The ladies say the men are not even worth it. Cool. Only a handful of men. Cool. Right? That's what the ladies are telling us. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to deal with what you got to deal with. And stop complaining. But they can't help that stop complaining part. Or they going to complain. They're going to talk crap. They're going to defecate on men. They're going to defecate on men's image. Oh, they're definitely going to talk crap. Huh? They can't help it. And thanks for that, Leon. And Leon says, I thought you were going to like that rock, paper, scissors clip. Look, Leon, once I saw it, I downloaded it, and I was like, oh, this is fire. The hate on her face says everything. Play it again, Z.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
And Krabby says she was mad that they liked each other. You could see it. You could see it. Boy, that hate like that. Well, you need to drink something with hate like that. That's the type of hate that causes you to be thirsty. That type of hate is dehydrating. The look on her face, that type of hate. Look at her. Her face said everything that Dave Chappelle clip was talking about. Whoever edited that is, once again, chef's kiss. Sound drops. Excuse me. Chef's kiss. Because the look on her face was exactly what Dave Chappelle was talking about. Jesus. No, for real, Trell. And Trell says, she been drinking that haterade. Man. Shout out to you. And guess what Mr. Z found? We're going to end it out with this video right here. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I told y'all about this a few times. And the good Lord had me find this channel and then find the video again. So I made reference to a couple of times Man on the Street interview where this white dude asked a white lady, why is it that men in America are going overseas to look for women, but men overseas are not coming to America to look for women? I've made mention to that. And guess what Mr. Z found?
Why do American men travel overseas to find a wife, but men from overseas don't travel to America to find a wife?
Because women know their worth over here, more exposed to resources.
I think women in the U.S. are...
Before we finish, hey, I gotta find the other one. The one because it's a little chopped up here because the original that I saw the first time, he chopped this one up. You could see the look on her face. She thought about it for like half a second, and the look on her face was, "Nah, you ain't gonna catch me up like that." The answer was the same. Everything else was the same. But at least for half a second, she looked at him. Stop! You ain't gonna catch me up that much. But she still, yeah, she answered it just like this. Exactly. Huh? Yeah. And let's really show why American women aren't going overseas to find men, and why men overseas aren't coming to America to find women. You want to know why? Approximately $9,500 US. What are you talking about, Z? The average global income per capita. Shout out to all those ladies. Oh, so you're saying you can't afford me? That's why I told y'all it's okay to say, yeah, you're right. Have fun finding the men that can. The average global income per capita is approximately $9,700 US as of 2021. So we're in 2026. And we're talking about men in specific. Let's say it's even $16,000 now. Let's say it's $20,000 now. It's still not enough. Not for these weirdo American women. I'm willing to double it. It's still not enough for these little consumerist, materialistic American women. Ladies, those men can't afford to come over here looking for you. And you don't want to go over there to do anything but rent him for a week with the boyfriend experience. You're not moving overseas to go pay for a dude indefinitely. That's the real answer. To answer the young man's question that the white lady, the blonde white lady, ain't really want to answer, it's not because y'all know y'all worth, it's because those men can't afford your little materialistic consumer American ass. Approximately 9,700. We could double it and add some and say $20,000 US dollars. Still not enough. Dear American men, you got the choices and the options, not the women. Dear Black American men, you have the choices and not the options, not the American women. And you know how we know? You're going to play it again, Z? You damn right.
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi. I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
Jag kunde få ditt telefonnummer.
Absolut.
Tack. 73.
591.
Vad heter du? Landry.
Jo, jag har hört hela mitt liv.
Men in Germany are treated way differently than Black women in Germany. Black men are appreciated in Germany. Black men are put in a cultural sense, in a societal sense, you are seen as interesting, whereas Black women are seen as lesser.
An experience,
a novelty in which you can approach voyeuristically, and it's dehumanizing. I was a member at Soho House, and I remember seeing a Black man sitting there, and there was all these white women around him glorifying him, gawking at the fact that he was existing. And I think Black men need to acknowledge that their lived experience in Germany is disproportional to that of a Black woman in Germany.
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
And all of what Mr. Z just played is really that. Play it again, Z.
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
That's what dark-skinned homegirl was saying with her facial expressions. All that anger, what it was really saying. What is that anger saying, everybody?
Fair. That is not fair! That is not fair!
Huh? That total and utter anger and resentment and disgust on her face, that's what it's saying. That's not fair. Oh. And tell you what, sis, they hate to see us smiling. Oh, they hate to see you smiling. And the disdain to see you smiling with a non-Black woman, a passing woman, a racially ambiguous light-skinned Black woman. Oh, how dare you? Huh? How dare you? You better stay complacent in this goddamn matriarchy.
Well, look.
Gynocracy.
Well, look. For me, it has never really been about Black man or man. It's been about men. You know, there's this myth out there that Black men can't handle being spoken to, you know, and told what to do by Black women. Black men come from our bodies. So Black men have Black mothers. So they're used to having these conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the Black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
Conversations with women.
The matriarchy is strong with the Black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah. The matriarchy is
You know.
strong with the Black
It is
community.
very strong.
Yeah.
Told you. I told you. I told you.
Ah. Huh? Yeah. So we're gonna finish playing this I finally found it. I've been talking about this I don't know how long. Finally found the clip. I'm gonna try to find the original, but it's good enough for now. And let's see what the other people, man on the street interview, got to say for the same sort of question. Continuing.
Why do American men travel overseas to find a wife, but men from overseas don't travel to America to find a wife?
Because women know their worth over here, more exposed to resources.
I think women in the US are very empowered money-wise, so they don't need a man to save them.
I think the passport is definitely an advantage. When they have the American passport, they can easily get women over there than vice versa.
The women believe, oh, if he comes all the way to America, he has to be worth something. I mean, comes to a different country, he has to be worth something.
Why don't women from America want to travel overseas to find a husband?
Because they're lazy?
They have everything here. I think it's a first world country, so a lot of guys are up to their standards in a lot of ways.
The article that came out, or the study that came out about a month or two ago that spoke on American women, some 40 some odd percent, 45-ish percent or something like that, wanting to leave America if they could and go to Canada or New Zealand or something like that, right? Yeah, and both of them earn less too. Oops. Dear American women in specific, that includes some of you black women that are doing pretty well financially. You either gonna get on our program or be single or pay for peeing. Oh. If you go overseas, the likeliness of those elite men doing anything to you more than piping is slim to none, and Slim just died. So you go to New Zealand, you're gonna be paying. You go to Canada, you're going to be paying. And Mr. Z don't have no problem with that. And the little boy toy you're going to be paying for doesn't have a problem with it either. He probably still going to step out on you. I'm just saying. Average American woman is 169, 5'4". Black American woman is what, 5'4", 5'5", 186, 189 pounds, something like that. Yeah. Your little boy toy in New Zealand, he going to cheat on your ass. The Canadian one, he going to cheat on your ass too. Hell, the American one gonna cheat on your ass. Oops. It's not called cheating, Z. He's just exercising his options. There's a reason why she paying. Oops. Yeah. Yes, ladies. This is the real. To all the technocrats, social designers, you didn't do the math, did you? Or you did do the math, you didn't raise your daughters to do the math. American women just can't do the social math to save their life. A handful of them, maybe, but they just refuse to do the social math to save their life. Yeah. And Dylan says, I'm 5'10", 188. I don't want somebody in my weight class. 5'4", Dylan. The same weight as you, but 5'4", 5'5". Huh? And yet the men are told we're boring, we're uninteresting. Huh? And the issue is that women have to convince themselves and do mental gymnastics to be with your average man. Yeah, that's it. Maybe if the women were doing gymnastics, then they wouldn't have to be doing mental gymnastics. Maybe if the women were actually in gymnastics and they were fit, maybe they would be with men where they wouldn't be doing mental gymnastics. I'm just saying. Huh? Dylan says, she my size, all we can do is box. Hysterical. That's hysterical. Huh? Cheryl said, LOL, she gonna throw you around, Dylan. Oh, man. Huh? I'm Waffles over here with the jokes, and y'all don't want a woman who can make you feel safe? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, I'm missing this. I don't know about this. And Longo says, ask Whoopi, musty ass, if Ted Danson told her that. I haven't forgotten. Oh yeah, Ted Danson with the blackface when they were dating. Uh-huh. Ah. And Mr. Shane Bishop says, so US women can go to Canada and it wouldn't be a major difference in terms of dating. It sounds good, but last time I checked, the Canadian birth rate is below replacement. Also, they really brought in some immigrants over the past decade or so. And their housing market is even more insane than the US because, well, the Asians are buying up everything. All that it's a bunch of women that don't know what the hell they talking about, bro. That's all it is. They make these comments, or when they're polled, or when they get a man on the street interview, they make all these snarky little one-liners, all these resentful minute-ish comments, and they talk about all these places they don't know nothing about glowingly. Oh, I would love to live in Canada. You couldn't afford a house in Canada. You think you can afford a house in the US? You really can't afford a house in Canada. Not in any of the major population centers. Huh? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Oh, man. These women just don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just a bunch of losers. And shout out to Passport OG. We gonna play this again, one more again. As a matter of fact, before we even play Passport OG, let the young black lady tell you what her cousin told her. And I would want to say this is specifically about black women, but by extension, all women, American women. Let her talk again.
I have a cousin who only likes white girls, and I was like, so why? He was like, because of you. He said, you're my example of a black woman, and I don't want that. I said, what the fuck?
Dear American women who laugh and make fun of the incels and the passport bros and black men in specific doing SYSBM or practicing SYSBM, shout out to all of you. Play it again just in case they didn't understand the message, G.
I have a cousin who only likes white girls, and I was like, so why? He was like, because of you. He said, you're my example of a black woman, and I don't want that. I said, what the fuck?
And Southpaw says, Z, what do you know about South Asian women in Canada? Do you know if they like black men? If I'm not mistaken, it's similar dynamics to what's going on in the US, just a slightly more kind. They're chasing after white dudes up there too. Last time I checked. Right? Less anti-black, even though they're still anti-black. Less anti-black and more white worshiping. In America, the South Asians are anti-black and white worshiping. In Canada, they're still anti-black, but not as much. Oh, but they white worshiping as hell. Last time I checked. I got family up there too. Last time I checked. Huh? So can you end up with a South Asian woman? Definitely. But they're still, you know. Yeah. And Mr. Shane Vicious says, I'm referring to that standard and cost of living in Canada. The gap between the two countries isn't that huge. If a woman lives in NYC or LA, then Canada isn't a major change. Understandable. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Hey, they still act like Jordan Peterson isn't from Canada. Ooh. What's the guy that helped to start Vice? Isn't he from Canada too? Oh. Huh? Isn't he from Canada also? They act like those folks ain't from Canada. These all of it sound nice. These people don't know what they're talking about, bro. It's that simple. The ladies don't know what they're talking about. Huh? So, for those of you that missed it, we originally started with, as a matter of fact, I'll play these just back to back to back, and then we'll make some of our final comments, and then we'll end this on out. So, like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, and shout out to this Julie lady, right? And we started off with this Julie lady, who this is her ex-man, right? They end up not working out. As you can see why they end up not working out. Buddy Road got fit and she got left. Or she did the leaving. Either way, we know why. Uh-oh. Right? But listen to her bitter ass talk like she care about other women and like she's not just a bitter Betty. Right? Continuing.
I have a theory, and this goes back to that article that came out where it said that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. I am very certain, and I've been treating this like a case study. I've been observing, collecting data, but the only women who are in long-term relationships are the ones who have a high tolerance for mediocrity. And people love to say that in our day and age, love is dead, and that people used to make it work. My grandma and grandpa were together 52 years. My grandma loved my grandpa dearly, but she did everything. Whenever I see a long-term couple work it out, it is because that woman is doing everything, and she has done the mental gymnastics to accept the bare minimum. She has convinced herself that she either doesn't want those things that she used to want, or she has made some kind of justification in her sacrifice, in being the matriarch. In any of these long-term relationships, I never see where the woman gets a better deal. I see where the man gets essentially an indentured servant. He gets free labor, free childcare, free cooking, free cleaning, and she gets him. And I would say the best case scenario, she maybe doesn't have to work, but in most of the scenarios, she is also working and she is doing all of the housework. I'm sure there is a very small majority that maybe has one of the good ones, as you guys would love to say, but I don't even trust you guys because I see the mental gymnastics that you do to live in that cognitive dissonance because no one wants to admit that they are accepting the bare minimum. No one's going to admit that they're unhappy, or else honestly you would have a psychotic break. You would probably kill yourself. But for most, and when I sit down with my friends and I hear actually what's going on in their relationship, what it is built on is extreme codependence. It is the woman who has her childhood wounds, who painfully desires to be picked, who is in absolute survival mode, whose cortisol is shot up so high that it has literally shut down her prefrontal cortex to even be able to think, to see that there is a life that could be peaceful without this man. She can barely make decisions, and I've just accepted at this point my tolerance is so low. I truly used to think I was someone, I was like, I'm going to have 5 kids. I'm going to get married one day. I thought I really desired that, but I'm just like, how could I ever give up this peace? Whenever I'm with a man, I'm crying. My nervous system is out of whack. And even for the good ones, let's say not a narcissist, not a chronic abuser, their emotional intelligence is just not there. They're not that interesting. They're not that smart. They're naturally selfish. They're gluttonous. I cannot stand a man. I will never have a man in my house again eating my food. See what I mean? My tolerance, there's no way. And I'm like, for the women who are having a man live in their house, that are eating their snacks, that are being selfish, that you are having to teach them basic concepts like empathy, that you are doing their laundry and cleaning up after them. Ugh. But I just feel like it has to be the only way to make it work. And I'm opting out. I'm opting out of that contract.
Yeah, but is this the reason why? Ooh, goddamn. Think this is her ex, y'all. If I'm not mistaken, I think this is her ex. Is this really a reason why you sound like that, you little bitter Betty? Huh? He done got chisel on you and left your ass. I think we got another picture of another dude that looks like him. That might be him. It might not be him. We got another one. Either way, both of them fit. Yeah. Is this the reason why your bitter ass sounds so bitter? And Claudia Jordan with this comment, and the reason why we're saying it's called coping, that's the title of the stream, is because Claudia Jordan is under this video, thinking of a couple of people that I feel bad for. Thinking of a couple of people I feel bad for. Yeah, Claudia, all that sound nice, but what informs the bitterness in Miss Julie? Whoopsie. Huh? Oh no. Huh? Continuing.
Have you ever wondered why there's a male loneliness epidemic, but there isn't a female epidemic? Shouldn't we be just as lonely? Aren't there our counterparts? It's actually because we aren't lonely. In fact, most of us felt lonelier when we were with you. The other part of this is women like being around other women. Y'all don't even like being around each other. And in our loneliness, after we realized how many times you guys were going to keep disappointing us, we found ways to be fulfilled. And in that, we realized, hey, this is a lot more peaceful. What did you guys do? You opted out and you numbed. You leaned into your porn addiction. You never emotionally evolved. You never developed any type of emotional skills to cope with all of the pain, all of the shame, all of the inadequacy that you feel. You men are struggling. And this is why I actually can't believe that men aren't against the patriarchy, because you are suffering in the patriarchy. You are drug addicts in the patriarchy. You are committing suicide in the patriarchy. You cannot talk about your feelings because of the patriarchy. You kept getting lonelier and lonelier. And let me tell you, loneliness is what happens when you refuse to grow, but still expected to be loved. And women are done. And you want to know what our result is we don't have a loneliness epidemic. We have an entire epidemic where women are realizing that they have much less labor, where they are realizing that they have much more peace, where they aren't emotionally dysregulated because they're not being abused. And women built emotional skills to deal with your abuse. And now look what happened is we have out-evolved you to the point where so many women are like, this is actually better, but we are not the ones that are lonely. You are, and that should be a problem to you.
Yeah. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. We got another one. Another picture of Mr. Z. Just gonna keep on spamming her with these pictures of her ex. I'm just saying, or who could be her ex. I'm just saying, huh? Suffering in the patriarchy, right, madam? Is this the reason why you say we're suffering in the patriarchy? Because your ex man is over here in the gym with the chisel chin. Oh, women, could y'all just admit? And exactly, as Riel says, God, she's insufferable. God, she's insufferable. Madam, this is your issue. Grow up. Huh? This is your issue, madam. Huh? Your ex moved on. That's her issue, everyone. All that talking, all that yapping, and Claudia Jordan in the comments sniping at men and kind of low-key throwing women under the bus for the first video, at least, that I played for y'all. Damn, thinking of a couple of people that I really feel bad for. No, who you should feel bad for is Miss Julie here, because her ex out here flaunting the workout. Uh-oh. This is why Miss Julie sound the way she does. Because her ex is out here, well, looking like this. Ain't that right, Miss Julie? Bitter ass. Miss Julie, you don't care about other women, Miss Julie. You're really actually sniping at your ex, Miss Julie. You do not care about the outcome for other women. You want to snipe at your ex. And you're throwing all men under the bus because you and your ex didn't work out. Loser. You're not a loser because you and your ex didn't work out. You're a loser because you're sniping at men because you and your ex didn't work out. And then you're framing it like you're just, just giving words of wisdom and dark psychology and all that other crap you have on your page. When you're just a little bitter Betty. Bitter ass. Huh? And Mr. Shane Vicious says, if Julie lets go and moves on, she'll be okay. We already know how white women work. She gonna keep on spewing this nonsense, and she gonna spin on a dime. All she need is another Mr. Jansen, excuse me. All she needs is another Mr. Jansen to slide through with a few dollars, tall, six-pack, and she going. And all the women, everyday white women, Latinas, black women, definitely black women, who followed her and was clapping it up and talking crap in the comments, they just gonna be out here looking sick. We all know white women love doing this to other women. Women love doing this to other women, but white women, definitely elite white women on top of that. Upper middle class, decent looking, and maybe attractive white women. Oh, they love doing this to other women. A relationship don't work out. Y'all remember Tommy Lauren? Oops. Their relationship don't work out. They start talking crap about men. The next thing you know, they married with a kid or two. And there you go. And all the women that were clapping it up for them just be out here single. No money, no man. Maybe a child, maybe not. No stability. Especially black women. Remember, when Tommy Lauren went on her tirade about men, because her and her aspiring politician dude didn't work out. Then and women, especially white women, love saying the same crap over and over again. Me and all my girlfriends are kick ass. We're doing well. We're doing well financially, and we've all done the work. And da, 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 da. They always say the same crap. In the second a man, a white man with some status and some money gives them any type of play, they gone. And all the other single bitter betties are just looking sick. No man, no money, no stability, no nothing for the masses. And the handful of them that do have some money, they're still insufferable. They just be out here single, looking sick. Huh? Yeah. Man. Hey, Low Volume Mel says her main problem is that the best man she could get better women. Let me see. Y'all gives you a second. Y'all gives you a second. And we're back. Yeah, y'all. I just need to skim and make sure. Just need to skim and make sure. Yeah, her and Buddy were together, and it didn't work out, and now she out here on the internet talking crap. And that's all. And that's all. Shout out to all the women, black women in specific, that ride out with this, right? And Mr. Shane Vicious says, and thank you for the super chat. Her tune will change when the wall comes for her. I don't know. I don't know. I think there is going to be a hard pivot between the masses of, let's say, Xers and older, so Xers and boomers and whatever silent generation is still alive, and the youngest of Xers, all millennial and Gen Z. I think millennial and Gen Z women are coming out the gate with the "I'm happy being single" rhetoric. Now, whether that's true or not for each individual woman is a different conversation. But even, and that's why I played this clip, right? That's why I played this. Listen to what the young lady says. Listen very closely.
Okay, I have one more thought that I have to get up as the sun is rising. Okay. Sometimes we lie to ourselves. And I've been doing that for quite some time now. And I am 32 this year. And it's almost the end of the year, so I'll be 33. And I'm just not about to go into 33 lying. So I'm going to be one of the first hard up type of women to admit that I want a man. I may actually need a man. That feels so disempowering sometimes to say in 2025. And people make you feel like, oh, you're weak. It's like, fuck it. I want a man. I don't necessarily... Yes.
Now, that is a millennial woman. She said she is 32 going on 33, right? She's a young millennial. What she is telling you, and when she says, oh, that's so, essentially, that feels so disempowering, it's because all of these women, from really the youngest of Xers, but really millennial and Gen Z, have been socialized all through entertainment, all through school, their mothers, their girlfriends, that I don't need no man. That's not just quote unquote a defense. Now it's the default, right? So her tune will change when the wall comes. Maybe not. Now that means us. No, never mind. But her tune changing, maybe not. And to be fair, for a lot of these ladies, this is their go-to, right? This is their go-to. They don't really know how to think about men in any other way but adversarial. Outside of the one or two men they find insanely attractive and appealing, right? So when the wall comes for her, maybe she doubles and triple down. I can't remember which video it was when Real Talk with Yang turned about 30, maybe 31 years old. You could tell it was eating her alive, but you know how she flipped it? Oh yeah, y'all, I didn't hit the wall, y'all. That's what the men say. I didn't hit the wall. And you could tell it's ripping her up inside that she's single. She's doing well financially. She got her little YouTube fame, but she don't got no man. And the reason why she bought it up, and she bought it up a couple of times, is because it was bothering her. But the way she shows that she down with the sisterhood is by bringing it up and then making fun of it. But madam, it's bothering you. The reason why you bought it up is because it's bothering you. The reason why you're trying to make fun of it is because it's bothering you. You don't bring up stuff like that if it doesn't bother you. Right? Because y'all know I didn't hit the wall, y'all. Because it bothers you. So it's very possible that if the wall comes for her and she's one of those white women that just stay out there entirely too long, then she doubles down, right? And that definitely happens, right? That definitely happens. I'm trying to see because Mr. Shane Vicious said something else I wanted to respond to. If I could find it, that'll be great. Wait a minute. I'll give you a second. Wait a minute. Okay, I can't find it. Okay, yeah, it ran. It ran. Yeah. Oh, there we go. That's what we're saying. And Mr. Shane to you says, to be fair, most white women tend to mellow out before it's too late. On the other hand, most black women are a lost cause. And I think black women who stay relatively fit, particularly darker skinned black women, brown black women, darker skinned black women who stay relatively fit, what melanin does is it causes you to age more gracefully and slower, right? Or at least look like you are. And enough of us keep on telling them, oh, you 38? You 35? Oh, I thought you were 28. Men and women saying that to them. And then white women looking at them kind of resentful, right? And so they out there playing the field even longer. What did Claudia Jordan tell us? She thought she had more time. She's 52 years old. Corey Holcomb told her she didn't have more time. Paraphrasing. Corey Holcomb told her she didn't have more time over a decade ago. I have that stream. I have that stream from RMC. I have that podcast saved somewhere on an iPod somewhere. Corey Holcomb told her she didn't have more time back in like 2012, 2013 or something like that. Back then. We're in 2026. She just did that interview in 2025 saying, oh, I thought I had more time. Corey Holcomb told you didn't have more time over a decade ago. He was telling you to slow your roll with the man got to be a damn god. Super tall, chiseled chin. He was telling you to slow your roll with that over a decade ago, Claudia. My title is, it's called coping. And that's what the ladies have now relegated themselves to. Not the men. Yeah. And thanks for the super chat, Man of Tomorrow. And Man of Tomorrow says, this type of idiot pandering destroyed the black manosphere. Spoken like a true BGS disciple. And yes, I listen to BGS. I like BGS, generally like BGS. And if you say that destroyed the black manosphere, what it sounds like really is that you hating and that you wish more of my subscribers would listen to you. Have you ever considered that we don't want to listen to you? Huh? Man of Tomorrow, if you believe in the marketplace of ideas, then let it be what it is. If you're saying it destroyed the black manosphere, are you not listening to me? Do I not claim the black manosphere? So how's the black manosphere destroyed? Do I not claim the black manosphere? How's the black manosphere destroyed? Huh? And if you believe in the marketplace of ideas, then I know you have a channel. Go on your channel, talk a bunch of crap about me, and let it be what it's going to be. And whoever want to listen to you, listen to you. And whoever stops listening to me will stop listening to me. And there you go. Problem solved. And if you get enough of my subscribers away, then Mr. Z will only have 2 or 3 people listening to me on the stream. And there you go. Problem solved. But you got to push a better product. Just saying. You have to forward better ideas. You have to talk about things that'll keep people's attention. Mr. Z, just political streams. Man of tomorrow. Just saying. I'm working on another What Money stream right now. I got the materials. I just don't have the time. I'm talking about Tom Z. You've been streaming for a little while. You got to get off. True indeed. Just saying, man of tomorrow. Thank you for the super chat. Huh? Uh-huh. Right? So, man of tomorrow, if you feel like I destroyed the Black Manosphere and other content creators and commentators like Z, you and your ilk have to push a better product. Be wittier, be more informed, be more entertaining, right? Talk about things that interest people, tie these things together, be funnier and wittier, and there you go. You will push me in my little channel, which in large part is irrelevant anyway. You'll push me out of there. Mr. Z won't have anybody listening, and you won. Huh? I want you to understand, like, my political streams still have 100 plus people listening. My streams about the money still have 100 and some odd people listening. I have a tiny channel. People are still donating. People are still putting super chats. The engagement is up there. I talk about the money. I talk about the politics. Just saying. Huh? So I ain't entertaining you, Vince. Vince with the jokes in the comments. Hysterical. So, all right, y'all. Look, we ain't gonna spend too much time. Look, I guess that's the end of the party because we got somebody in here coming in here farting all over the place. Huh? So there you go. And shout out to you, man of tomorrow. Shout out to you. But yeah, brother, if you feel like people like me destroyed the Black Manosphere, then it's up to you to rebuild it. Or build something different and quote unquote better. Huh? Just saying. Big Mo, I ain't gonna read that out loud. That's hysterical. Oh, that's hysterical. And that's funny too, Vince. I ain't gonna read those out loud. That's funny. Right? So, yeah. And Compassion says, Negroes so scared of women, they don't want to tie relationships to politics and society. And we talk about all that over here. Wait, what did we just talk about on Sunday? Oh, wait. Demographics, immigrants, politics, and women. Mr. Z is the child of immigrants, and Brothers was on the live talking about immigrants and their children. Oh, wait, you mean an engaging conversation. Uh-oh. Huh? You know what Mr. Z highlighted earlier to go with the conversation? Let's make sure. Let's bring it back up. Let's bring it back up. Wait a minute. It's loading. Y'all give Z a second. Go into that, Compassionate. You know we brought up? Wait. The average global income, $9,700 as of 2021. So we're in 2025. Let's say it's $12,000, $14,000, $15,000. I don't even think it's that much, but okay. I said make it 20, and it's still not a lot. Huh? Just saying. Anyway, that's a good way to end. A little heckling, a little rage. Longo said, I ain't going nowhere. Let us find out that really Men of Tomorrow be in the corner with the hater face. Men of Tomorrow, you and the sister got the same thing going on?
Rock, paper, scissors for your number?
Right.
Good. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, says shoot. 360?
Hi.
360?
Woo! We'll start.
Well. The most
That's you, Man of Tomorrow.
diabolical haters this side.
There go Man of Tomorrow right there, y'all.
I hate you. I don't even know you, and I hate your guts. I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and nobody else but you.
That's you, Man of Tomorrow? Oh man, you look at the Mr. Z talking to the Black Manosphere, entertaining the Black Manosphere, informing the Black Manosphere, and you over there in the corner hating? Huh? Ah, exactly. I don't like that ish. Right? So on that note, y'all, we actually do got to end out. So we'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Claudia Jordan, stop following these. And you know Melissa Ford doing the same thing, by the way. Stop following these hate men because it didn't work out for me ass channels on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, please. For your own health. And on that note, y'all have a great rest of y'all day. We'll pause right here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. Y'all might want to go swing by, listen to MOT, because apparently he hating on me, Mr. Z over here rhyming. All right, y'all. Mr. Z out.
You are now listening to Mr. Z Blackneffect.